Hey everybody, good morning. I'm sorry, good morning. Wow. Good evening. Rideshare Peterson here, Ride with Peterson. It is 7:36 p.m. on Friday, October October 4th, 2019. And I'm going to make a quickie video regarding the changes happening at LAX. Um, I will admit right now that I have known about the changes coming to LAX for at least since I believe it was April or May. I will need um, I will need the help. No, June or July. I will need the help of Thomas in San Diego because he was with me when we attended a meeting in San Diego, California regarding changes to Los Angeles International Airport. Um, I've been out there working. That's where I've been, Renee, working. So this is a brief video. If I see all your comments, and I'll try to respond to you after I make this little blurb quick. Okay, so now what's going on is a lot of people are reporting that there are changes being made at Los Angeles International Airport. The reason why they're making the changes at LAX is because they are undergoing a multi-billion-dollar renovation project at the airport. This project is addressing three major issues going on at the airport. First and foremost, they are building that automated people mover will ultimately take people to a brand new transportation facility that's located that's located near the area of La Cienega and the 405 freeway. Um, Specifically La Cienega between Arbor Vitae and Century Boulevard. Those who live in Los Angeles, you should know where I'm talking about. That whole area will be a brand new state-of-the-art um, transportation hub of sorts. It's also going to tie in with the Metro LAX, Crenshaw LAX transit line that's going to open up sometime soon. Who knows when, but it's been they've been building that forever, and they're saying it's finally going to open sometime next year. Um, you see a lot of construction going on at between Terminal 1 and 2. That's Delta Airlines building a brand new state-of-the-art terminal. They're making changes to the international terminal. They're doing all of this to make the city look nice and pretty and beautiful for the Olympics. Um, they accelerated the money because the Olympics are coming to LA in 2028. And they've been planning this stuff for at least 10 years. But the automated people mover, the APM, is needed to move people efficiently. So went to a meeting, and this is what's going to happen. All right, Uber SUV, you have your own airport permit, and you've also registered that information with Lyft, and you drive Lyft Lux and Lyft Lux Black and Lyft Lux Black XL, whatnot. Those vehicles will still be allowed to pick up at the terminal. But for everybody else, excluding privately owned vehicles, they have this new area that they're putting in. It's almost ready to go. You've seen it across the blue tarps, and they've got little the road has been remarked for it, and there's it looks like it's ready to go. It looks like umbrellas they're going to open. All the passenger pickups are going to happen in that area. So the way you take passengers to the airport right now will remain the same. You will take them into the airport, take them to the upper level, like you always do when you're dropping them off. That TNC driver, you will start picking up all the passengers at the new area located across the bridge on the northeast side of the airport. It's kind of hard to imagine northeast given the way the airport is turned around, but geographically that is where it is. It's on the northeast side of the airport between the 96th Street Bridge and Sepulveda Boulevard. This is supposed to help alleviate the traffic congestion that's at LAX. Most drivers today, unless you're doing it early in the morning, very late at night, or between the hours of 4 and 6:30, most drivers will tell you you just don't want to be in LAX because it's a nightmare trying to get in and out of there. And part of the reason why is simply because, excuse me, there are too many cars rolling in and out of LAX, and they needed to do something to control the traffic. But traffic's going to get a whole lot worse at LAX over the next 2.5 years due to the construction that's going on at the airport for these improvements that they're making. Anyway, they finally gave us a date on this. It was supposed to take effect on Labor Day, but they pushed it up on The Verge. They reported October the 29th. This was supposed to happen. But most drivers, you should see where that lot is right now. It's going to cut the amount of time necessary to get in and out of the airport. So this is what's going to happen with the passengers, so you understand what's going on. When a passenger gets off the plane and they walk into the airport, they're going to go down to the lower level like they used to years ago. They're going to get their luggage. When they go outside into the lower level area, they're going to go to a dedicated location for a dedicated shuttle. That shuttle is going to take them from their terminal directly to the pickup location. There are two road zones in LAX. There are the inner lanes and the outer lanes. The inner lanes is the main terminal area. I believe there's 4 or 5 lanes there, and then you have the outer lanes that are closest to the terminals. Those 2 lanes will be dedicated exclusively for the shuttles. If you're going to pick up a passenger on the lower level, you have to do it at an island. You won't be going to the curb. According to the meeting that I went to, the curb, part of it will actually be filled in so that it can accommodate more people who are getting on the shuttles. They will have specific shuttles going to specific terminals. For example, there will be a shuttle that will go to Terminal 4 and only to Terminal 4. A shuttle that will only go to Terminals 1 and 2 and only Terminals 1 and 2, for example. Now, this may have changed during the meeting that I went to with Thomas in June or July, but that's the plan, to expedite moving passengers from the center, from the curb area directly to the pickup zone. That's basically it. I'll find out about it. I might get 500 people that might watch this video, but it's gotten to the point now where, hey, put out something so you know, hey, Peterson know what's going on. But if plans go according the way they do, I won't be really doing this much after November 2nd, November 3rd. My plan is to exit Rideshare by then. I do want to take advantage of the money that can be made on Halloween. It's going to be really good because Halloween, I believe, falls on a Thursday this year. My other phone is dead, so I can't confirm that. But you figure October 30th, the 31st, November 1st, November 2nd. Oh, goodness, it's going to be on and popping. Yes, I'm still planning on making the move to Atlanta. I have someone I have to disappoint, but I'm still making the move to Atlanta. It's something that I need to do. Now, regarding your questions, because I'm going to be on this live stream for a short amount of time. Because I don't have enough gas to keep the air on like this. Mr. J, hey, how you doing, Mr. J? Doing all right. Tony the car guy. Yes, Tony, I saw your messages, but I have focus on the topic at hand instead of flipping around. I received a lot of comments before that people tried to follow me on the comments, and I flipped around too much. So I decided to focus entirely on the comments, focus on the subject first, and then work on the comments. So I apologize if you think I was ignoring you, but it was necessary because I need to expedite this live stream. Tony, you sold your first car on the 30th. Tony, you went and changed your name again, man. I liked top speed reviews, unless somebody bought it from you, because you got a name there, man. That's good. Congratulations on selling your car. Oh yeah, congratulations on selling your car, man. That's a great feeling when you make that very first car sale, and you get the commission behind it. I remember the very first car I sold. I was working at Keys Toyota, and I sold a 1998. Um, it was an Avalon, and it was a 97 Avalon. It was diamond white with leather interior. It was a XLS, and really nice guy. He and his wife bought the car. They loved me as a salesman, and it was just really, really cool that I sold um, I sold that car, the Avalon. You never forget your first. You never forget your first. And that was a very special day for me. The second car I sold was a gold Toyota Camry. It was a LE Camry I sold to a business owner. This guy owned his own company. He was looking for a car for his employee, and we sold him a gold Camry. And that was my second car. After that, I left the dealership. Keys was not a cool place to work for me, and they're big in the valley, but they broke my spirit to want to sell cars. So that was, that. But congratulations on your car. What car was it? Tell me the make and model, the color, all that good stuff, so I know what it was. But selling your first car is huge. Let's see. Loki, the guy. Loki, what's up, Loki? Hey, I'm hanging in there as best as I can. I'm doing all right. Mr. Porter, thank you so much. Good evening to you too. What are your thoughts on LAX? I think the changes are overdue, and I really hope it works out pretty good. I personally don't like working LAX. I try to avoid the place as much as possible. But I tell you, when I get a rematch, the ride's great. Oh, they are great when you get a rematch out of LAX. Um, uh, Romeo, I'm basically working. I'm trying to make the money to, excuse me, to pay for this truck, to pay for the gas, and to get my life in order. Um, Let me see. Carl, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Scans France, what's up to you too? Appreciate you. Freddie, how's it going? Doing X, and I think when everything is said and done, LAX is going to be a fairly nice place when it's done. Everything will be done the way they want it done regarding the metro train line, the automated people mover, the transportation center that they're building to consolidate all the rental cars. Um, what else are they doing? The terminal improvements. All of this stuff is going to be up and running by 2026. All the construction will be done by then. So basically, folk, when you're dealing with LAX, you got about 6.5 more years to work with all of this. But hopefully it'll be nice, and by the time 2026 gets here, traffic won't be too much worse than what it is right now. Um, it's just going to help move the cars around more efficiently, but no one's going to move around any faster because we're going to get a lot more people moving to LA to compensate for any traffic benefits that might come up. So will you visit in 2026? Of course. My mom and dad and sister, they're still out here. I have to come out here every once in a while to visit with them. FaceTime and text messages and video chat and Skype. And my mom likes Marco Polo. That only goes so far. Besides, I like getting on a plane and flying. I missed it before. I was petrified when I got on a plane to Miami. But hey, flying is like one of those things you kind of want to make an excuse to do. So I love to fly. I really do. It's just I just get scared during takeoff. Other than that, I'm cool with flying. I enjoy it very much. Let me see. Uber Black Business. What is what I was referring to? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, hey, you sold your favorite car, your Ford Edge. All right, $14,000 to your cousin. Congratulations on that, Tony. That's huge. Did you take a picture with your client at the time of the sale? You always want to take a picture with you, the client, and the vehicle every single time, and have them give you positive ratings online as well too, so they can find you. Um, when they're looking for you. Oh my God, I took my earbud out because I had to give girl my order at Hoover's, and now you're talking about my comment. Thank you. Oh, all right. What's up? Are you bracing yourself for more business at LAX on? No, actually leaving rideshare. My plan is to exit rideshare in the month of November. This is not worked out for me, and it's time for me to move on. I've already made up my mind about that. You know, I look back on my 3 years, 3.5 years of doing this, and for me, I can, um, I can say with absolute certainty that this was the worst thing I ever did. It really was. Um, I I lost everything, and I mean everything behind rideshare, and it's been very difficult for me to wrap my brain around that I allowed this to happen again, but it did happen. I went in with doing this. Somebody's alarm have to go off now. Man, I'm gonna have to move my car because that alarm is not gonna turn off. I what is it? Oh brother, there we go. Thank you. I um, I went in trying to do this with the best of intentions, with the hardest work ethic I possibly could, but it took it took me 3 years to figure out that this was not a good move. I wanted it to work so bad. I really did. I poured my heart and soul into this as much as I could. Day, the simplest, the simplest thing that I should have looked at was the cost of gas. Simplest thing I should have looked at was the cost of gas, because that should have told me right then and there that this was not the right way to go. But I listened to what so many other people had said online regarding rideshare. People that were saying that they were making fantastic money on rideshare, that they loved the freedom, they loved the um, the fact that they could control so much of their time, and I'm like, okay, I think this will work for me. This would be great. And it came at a time where I really need to be free of being an employee, because I had just been fired from my job as a bus operator. I was devastated from it, and I had lost faith in my ability to be an employee. And so I needed something that would allow me to generate money, but yet give me the time necessary to basically lick my wounds from suffering such a great loss, losing my job. And if it weren't for rideshare, I would have went back to Metro, because I would have felt I had no option. I would have had no choice. I keep bringing up Metro so much because I had poured my entire life into that, and I gave up a lot to make Metro work, and for it to fail the way it did in such a big manner. This isn't quite that level of painful, but this is what it is. And I'm like, at this point, I have lost the motivation to do this. I mean, I look at the short rides, and when you go through the various things you do, and you only get $2.80 to drive people around as a regular Lyft driver. Um, XL is a little better, but even then, when it's a short ride, you only get $4.80 for the short rides. And it's kind of like, you know what, this is, as an independent contractor, this is completely unacceptable. This is simply not working at all. And let me say something about that real quick. This is going to be very interesting. Let's say you get a ride from LAX to Santa Barbara, okay? And let's say that that is a 100-mile trip one way. Normally, you would be paid for the time and the distance to make the trip, and you would feel great about getting a ride from LAX to Santa Barbara, and those rides still happen. People, they take more trips out of LAX to go to Santa Barbara, even though there's an airport at Santa Barbara, because the airport trips are cheaper and they're more plentiful by making the trip there. But the point is this: at for a 100-mile trip to Santa Barbara, just for the mileage alone, if you are a Uber X driver and and the trip originates in LAX and there's no surge or no multiplier, whatever they do now, I think they're to the flat surge. Flat surge finally hit it in LA. You'll get at least $64 for that trip. At least $64 for that trip. Now, as an employee of Uber, effective January 1st, 2020, at 12:01 a.m., let's say Uber decides to pay $20 an hour. If it takes you an hour and a half to make a 100-mile trip and you're being paid $20 an hour, you're not going to get $65 for that trip to Santa Barbara. You're going to get $30 for that trip. $30, an hour and a half. You're going to be paid for your time. You will be reimbursed for the mileage and you'll be reimbursed for the gasoline. But you're not going to get $65 for that trip. If you're doing a bunch of short trips in Los Angeles, then yeah, being an hourly employee for Uber is great. But if you do long trips, you're going to lose out big time. As an employee, Uber has a ton of power now. They have a lot of power. They can, if they can say, hey, you know what? We don't want full-time drivers anymore. And so what they will do, like right now, they limit you in the app to working no more than 10 hours, a day. Now what they'll be able to do is say, hey, they'll be able to limit you to about 35 hours a week. Now, when I was at Metro, the threshold between part-time and full-time was 37.1 hours. If you worked more than 37.1 hours a week, you were considered a full-time employee. So Metro made their business to ensure that the part-time drivers worked no more than 34 hours a week. So they'd stay on part-time basis. But even then, Metro still paid for health insurance for their part-time drivers. Part-time drivers did not receive retirement benefits. They were part of the union, but they did not receive, and they received medical, health, and vision and all that stuff, but they didn't receive retirement benefits. Only full-time employees receive retirement benefits. Who knows what Uber and Lyft and any other of these gig apps are going to do when it comes to dealing with their employees regarding part-time status, full-time status, whatever benefits are going to happen. But I believe that three very important things are going to be left out. First of all, it's highly unlikely Uber drivers will get health insurance. They're not going to offer that. And it's very unlikely that they're going to allow the drivers to drive more than 35 hours a week, because they do not want to take the chance of paying drivers overtime for working more than 37.1 hours a week. They're not going to do that if they work more than 40 hours a week. Also, a retirement benefit package will not be offered as well. It's not going to happen. If you're lucky, you'll probably get the $21 an hour they said they were going to do. But you know what? I would not trust Uber. I would not trust them at all. I would figure they'll say, okay, you know what, since we have to make them employees, we will give them the absolute minimum required per federal law, state law, and local law, and they will leave it at that. Um, Logging in and off on the app, they'll probably, they're setting up this thing now where you have to set up certain hours because they have the right to enforce all of that stuff. The days of being able to log in and log off, take 5 and 6 hour breaks when you want, and work tons of hours, those days are going to be over with in California effective January 1st, 2020. So it's like, you know what? I do not want to be an employee of Uber. I don't want to do it. I'd rather go back to Metro if I'm going to be an employee, because at least I was paid halfway decently for the work I did. If I'm going to hate my work, at least I want to go back to a place where I was done. But me going back to Metro, I don't want to make that happen either, because I don't want to drive around people anymore. I just don't want to do it. I know how I feel about it. My attitude about it is deteriorating. I'm getting really ugly, and I don't want to say I just don't want to put up with people's mess anymore. That's what it is. And it is hard. It's harder by the day to do this mile. I look at my old videos, and I look at what I went through and what my mentality was at that time, and I was like, rideshare could do no wrong. Just get a nicer car, and oh my God, it's gonna work out. And now I'm telling you, if I could walk away from this today, I would. I really would. But I have responsibilities with this vehicle that I have to fulfill before I finally walk away, and I have to plan this out right, because I need the money that I'm going to make from this in order to transition away from this and start over something completely new. I like driving for other people. I don't know. I might get rebellious, and when I get out to Atlanta and everything is right or so like that, I might get that Camaro I've always wanted. So you know what? Forget this. Not only am I gonna get a Camaro, but I'm gonna get a stick shift, a manual transmission SS, and call it a day. Maybe even get a convertible. You know what? I cannot use that on rideshare. I have a blast doing it too. It'll be silver with black. I can tell you that for a fact, because I love silver. But I'm like, I tell you, this rideshare has been quite the experience, though, and I'm enjoying the experience of rideshare as much as I can. Hey Xander, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. Hey Xander, you put a nice little smile on my face. Thank you so much. Actually, Timmy, I'm not going into trucking. I'm not going to do that. I am going into a completely different tangent. I do not want to drive for pay anymore. It was a great regret of mine to be it was a great regret of mine to go into driving as pay. It's something I told myself I would not do, and I did it, and I tried to do it, and I gave it 100% my best. And as far as driving and transportation is concerned, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but I've had more downs than ups, and my heart is broken behind this, and I'm having a difficult time wrapping my mind around doing this. So no, yeah. After I leave California, Justin, I'm done. I'm not gonna do it. If I do anything regarding to gig app, Um, it's going to be like Postmates, DoorDash, something like that. But as far as Uber and Lyft, I'm out the door. I can't do it. I will do a few rides on trip if they ever get off the ground, to say, hey, you know what, those of you who are looking for what's going on with Trip, I went out, I got a car, and I'm doing it for a couple of weeks, and then I'm done. I'm going to Atlanta, man. I need to go to Atlanta. I need to leave LA. I've this is home. I love living out here in California, but the fact of the matter is, I've suffered too many losses out here, and I need to go away for a couple of years, and I need to start over again, fresh from the very beginning. That's what I got to do. Um, that's the thing. Being an actor is not my thing, and the reason why is because I can't remember lines. And I think yeah, and plus, to have the kind of training and the type of passion that you need to be an actor, I'm not really I'm not that serious about acting. So no, it's not. Also, somebody made a comment about I should be a male stripper. I know you were joking. There, look, I don't have a hot enough body to be a male stripper. If I had it like that, believe me, I would be doing it. But I don't have it like that at all. That's not gonna happen. You would make a great Uncle Phil. Yeah, right. Okay. Atlanta, best place to ride share. No, ride share in Atlanta is 44 cents a mile. I'm not doing ride share in Atlanta. It's too, the rates are just, they're even worse than they are here. So, it's not going to happen. Um, I'm looking at reports of drivers who are giving it up because they're just not making enough money. I'm here in LA. I'm getting great rides in LA, and I'm not making enough money out here. Um, what is a stripper name? Um, what is a stripper name you have? You know what? The first name that popped up on my head, I don't know why, but my stripper name would probably be Andre. So that would be my stripper name, Andre. Um, I thought about going into car sales. I don't want to go into car sales. I did it once before. My heart got broken from it, and I'm like, nah. It's not. It's I'm not gonna do it. Um, if I'm going to do car sales, I want to be in a situation where I want to inform people and give them um, the information that they want and be completely impartial about it. That's why I want to do the car review channel, because I can talk to anybody about any car, from a Hyundai Accent all the way up to a Rolls Royce Phantom, and I can be completely objective with whoever comes to me. Whether you're looking for a Hyundai, or you want a Toyota or a Ford or an Acura or a BMW or a GMC or a Jeep or a Mini or a Toyota. What else we got around here? A Honda. I mean, I can name any car on site within 5 seconds. I'm really good at that, and I can give you 3 reasons why you'd want the car and 3 reasons why you wouldn't want the car. I'm very effective at it, and I'll go to a dealership and I'll actually sell a car for the salesman because I know how to talk to people. But the reason why people listen to me at a car dealership is um because I don't have a vested interest in trying to sell the customer on the car. I'm just trying to give them information and find out what's going on. Salesmen, they're the ones that have a vested interest in it. Um, so that's that. Yeah, Dustin, let me tell you about car review channels. And I'm gonna talk to you about this business to business, and you'll understand why I'm taking my sweet time with this car review channel. When you talk about a car, you mention a Tesla. I just made a halfway video about the Tesla Model 3, and I got great views and great comments from that video because I mentioned the Tesla Model 3. It was the focus of the channel. But here's the thing I like about the Tesla Model 3. 3 years from now, people will still watch that video about that Tesla Model 3 because the information will always be relevant if you do your job the right way with the car review. It has a life of its own because people, let's say, what right now you have okay, right now a popular car that's going to be very popular is the 2020 Ford Explorer. Okay, it's going to be one of the vehicles I'm going to review. And so you go, you review the car, you review the Ford Explorer, you do whatever, you say your things about it or so, you make a video, and that's it. A lot of people are going to watch the video. A lot of people are going to make the views. Guess what? 10 years from now, that 2020 Ford Explorer is going to be a used truck, and somebody's going to want to know, what was that 2020 Ford Explorer all about when it was new? Your video will still get views. Your video, it generates real residual income, and it will take on a life of its own. Because one thing I've learned about talking about rideshare, these videos have a life expectancy of maybe 2 weeks. Some videos you make will live on for a long time. Like one video I have is customer treats and amenities. That video now has over 130,000 views on my channel, and I still get comments at least once a week on that on that video, and I'm reminding people, yo, that video was made in 2018. You're kind of late to the party now at this point, but people still watch it because that video has relevance, because there are people, they're standing on rideshare. It's one of the top 5 videos I made, but the thing is, that video has limited potential. But car reviews, if you have a certain way how you're going to present the car to the person, and you can do it differently than the other 100, 200, 300, 400 car review channels out there, and you find a way to stand out amongst the crowds, you're gonna do very well. The great thing is this: people are always looking for a different opinion on the same vehicle. They want to find something that that someone else has missed, that they haven't talked about, because the information that people want on a new car is voracious. It's voracious. They want to consume as much information as they can before they take that dreadful visit to the dealership to actually right vehicle for me. Should I not? You know, some people, they looked at it, they liked it. Okay, great. You know, they put it in the bag like Ariana Grande. I like it. I bought it. What up? What's up? Other people, they're very meticulous, and they're trying to find that one thing that will tell them, no, I don't want to do it. So, so that's the thing. People want different opinions, and here's the thing about cars that's so fascinating. At any given moment, you have over 400 different opportunities to make a video. There is so much variety you can do. Like, I'll tell you, one of my favorite channels is Doug DeMuro. This guy, he has probably the biggest car channel on YouTube that's not through a major company or so, like Motor Trend or whatnot. And he reviews all kinds of cars. Like the other day, a few videos ago, he reviewed a 1991 Lexus LS 400. Then turned around and did a 1991 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEL. Then he went and got a it was an 89 to 90 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. Then what did he do? Then turned around and had a Bugatti Chiron, $3 million. Reviewed the Lincoln Aviator. I mean, he goes all over the map on all of his cars, but he has a formula that works, and he is making bank wearing his cheap sweats and t-shirt and pants and shoes and just being an ordinary dude driving around a car. You know, part of the reason why I want to make my channel is because I do not like that Doug score. I remember when he first came out with it, and I'm sorry, but I have a problem when you rate a car that can do 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds, a 6 in acceleration. I'm thinking, what does it take to get a 10 out of this guy? What does it take to get a 1 or inspired by Doug DeMuro? But it's totally different. I have a different way of talking about my cars. And I'm like, you know what? If everything goes according to plan, January 1st, 2020, I will have 10 videos online to launch the channel and go from there. That is the plan. But I'm working on the script to get it right, because this is going to be a very, very big deal for me. I'm telling you straight up, I'm looking to get one of them plaques from YouTube with this one. They give you plaques for having 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, and 10 million subscribers. You know, if I get 100,000 subscribers out of my channel, I'll be very happy. And just simply go from there, and then make good quality content regarding cars, because I exhausted rideshare. There really isn't much I can talk about rideshare anymore. Part of the reason why I haven't made videos is because, my goodness, I've been on here 42 minutes. I said I was going to be here for a short period of time. I need to know that I'm effective in rideshare. And I just don't think that I have an effective voice in rideshare anymore. And so I need to move on and do something else where I believe that I will be effective. There are only 2 other things in my life that I know I'm good at, to where I'll be an effective voice. One of them is cars. I've been studying cars since I was 5 years old. And I'm telling you, if I had professional training, oh my goodness, I'd be an auto journalist. I know that for a fact. But I really never got into it. I did cars more so for fun. But I'm very picky, fine tooth comb. It takes me 3 years to figure out what my next car is going to be. When I drove off the lot with the BMW, I started planning. Okay, what's my replacement vehicle going to be after this? When I drove off the lot with the Jeep Renegade, I was already thinking, okay, what am I going to replace this with? And it takes 3 years going through the pluses and minuses and all like that. Yeah, but Dustin, really look into the car review channel, because it's hard to find, like some channels, you if you're really good at something, you'll do great with it, because of the realities of dealing with taking advantage of the greatest strength of YouTube, and that is residual income, because you have a subject that will continue making money for you, truly making money for you, long after you made the video. Let's see. Damn, I don't plan anything. Never promised tomorrow. Talking about rideshare, like for example, this video. I decided to come on and do a live stream with this video, because I'm like, you know what? I want to knock this one out real quick right now, get it over with. I don't want to plan it. I just want to say it, answer a few questions, and move on, because I've been out of making a video now for, I think, a couple of weeks. My last video was a couple of weeks ago. Dustin, your buddy, No Cryberry, is dead broke again. Oh, Timmy, you are a mess, man. Randy did it. He went from Uberman to auto mechanics rebuilds. I bet if you get in touch with him, he could help you. Randy doesn't like me. He wouldn't help. No, Randy's not a fan of mine. I applaud what Randy did, actually. Randy knew when to throw in the towel. He had a project in the back that he was working with before by doing his auto rebuilds, and he leveraged his strengths on YouTube, and he took off with it, and he's doing phenomenally well. I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of him, happy for him. He's doing great, because see, he has a channel that he's doing something he enjoys. And when you take a car. Look, it's something fascinating when you look at cars at junkyards, auction sites, um, and you know, and he gets cars that are for the most part undamaged, but they can be worked on and fixed on, and then he, you know, he resells them and he does them. I haven't watched any of his videos recently. I watched a few videos when he first started his channel, but to see that he's what, he was at 167,000 subs last time I saw. I think now he's probably, if his growth curve is similar to what it was when I last saw it, he should be past 200,000 subscribers now. Um, but but cars, he found a niche that works, and I'm like, hey, I can't wish him nothing but the best. What is auto? Here we go. First one that popped up. Auto auction. Okay, he's at 182,000 subscribers. He has 1,800 videos. And his views are wonderful. I mean, let me see. He gets great views. He did one here with a Ford F-250 and 26,000 views. I'm like, wow, this is real revenue he's making here. Another video, 31,000 views, 49,000 views, 71,000 views, 29,000 views, 44,000 views, 65,000 views. He's getting the views. I mean, you know, and I look at what it here his most popular video. Um, Believe it or not, his most popular video is still a Uber video. He made it 4 years ago and he has 1.5 million views. But for his Copart videos, he bought a 2001 Mercedes S600 and 1.1 million views just a year ago. So you know, he's doing okay. And see, here's the thing. Every single one of these videos that talks about auto auction rebuilds, these videos are still relevant. Even though I saw the buying a $1,680 Mercedes-Benz S600 in 2001, and will it run or so? That video will always be relevant. He's always going to get views on that video. And he did that video a year ago. He probably forgot all about that car. His most, oh well, I never saw that video, so I'm not going to comment on that. He has 180 YouTube just in one plaque. Yeah, you get a plaque when you cross 100,000 subscribers. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look and see if he made it. I don't think it's possible to get 100,000 subscribers on Rideshare. I just don't. Simple. I know Calvin in Atlanta, the simple driver, he has 82,300 subscribers with just 47 videos. If there's anyone who's going to get close to 100,000 subscribers, it'll be Calvin. And I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to do it. Now, if Dustin gets it, it's going to be all right. I mean, Dustin, I believe is driving. Dustin, let's see where you are, buddy. Dustin is at 32,900 subscribers, 733 videos. I think Dustin's going to hit 50,000 videos, 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I have no doubt about that. But 100,000 subscribers, I don't think so. And the reason why is because rideshare, in my opinion, has a limited reach when you're talking to drivers. I don't think riders are all that interested in rideshare. They just want their ride and they want to go, and that's it. They're not checking on ride on talking to YouTube drivers to find out what's the best strategy to get a cheap ride on Uber or Lyft. They're not doing that. The focus really is on the drivers when you talk to a rideshare channel. Let's face it, majority of the people who would be interested in a rideshare channel, they're working. They don't have time to watch YouTube. So it's a limited a fun thing to really talk about. So that's the thing. You got to look at it and say, well, what do you want to do with this with this situation? And it's like, okay, well, YouTube has been a surprise for me. I'm shocked I've done as well as I have on YouTube. I honestly did not expect more than 500 subscribers when I did this channel. Instead, I just crossed 6,500 subscribers, which is totally blowing my mind. I have made made a little bit of money off of the channel, but I made money off the channel. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I've met so many wonderful people around the world from this channel. I met people from so many different countries and so many different areas of the city, and I met people that I otherwise would have never met any other way. And it's kind of like, okay, you know what, I want to continue this, but it's going to be a different path taken going in the talking about cars. And so it's very important to me that I do it the best way I can. And I'm gonna tell you, the sample videos I've made of me reviewing cars, and the few little videos I saw of me doing like when I did the review of the BMW, and I did the review of the Hyundai Elantra, and I tried to do a review of my Jeep, and I wanted to do a review of the Chevy Bolt, and I wanted to do a review of the Malibu. They all sucked. I was horrible at it. I'm like, oh no, I cannot. Those videos are not watchable. They weren't. So I'm like, that's why I'm taking my time with it. And it's like, okay, everything else is right, but me. I mean, it's so important to me to get it right, because it's one thing to sit here and to run my mouth in the driver's seat of the truck and just talk about rideshare. So, but it's different when I have to stand next to a vehicle and I have to actually present it and keep people interested in that vehicle for about 25 minutes. That's how long the videos are going to be, because of the amount of information I'm trying to give people. So that's it. Hey, Mr. George Schneider, thank you so much for checking in with me. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's the deal. No, I don't know. Randy, Randy has a problem with the fact that around this time last year, I asked subscribers for money. I was in a very difficult situation last year with the BMW, and I posted a video requesting help from my subscribers, and he had a problem with that. And then a few weeks ago, he expressed concern to me about discussing Trip, and he sent me a very it was a message that it was a message that basically let me know that I needed to be very circumspect when dealing with Trip. And I'm like, okay, I hear exactly what you're saying. I have a lot of respect for Randy, because let's face it, part of the reason why I crossed over 1,000 subscribers and I was able to monetize this channel was because he told his subscribers to check me out, and overnight my subscriber count doubled. And then from there, once your channel gets monetized and everything changes algorithm wise, and you hold on to subscribers and they like your videos and watch, you go into a totally different orbit with your channel regarding its relevance to YouTube and the ability to attract more people. So that's that. Shannon checks up on rideshare drivers and rideshare channels every once in a while. And so, I just simply get the impression that at the end of the day, Randy doesn't like me. I mean, I like Randy. I think he's a cool guy. But but hey, each his own. A lot of people don't like me. I've That's one thing that I've had to accept in life. When I was 20 years old, I was out in the world or so like that. Now at 48, I'm like, you know what? People don't like you. People don't like you, and they will let you know it. So I don't sweat it anymore. If you don't like me, great. You don't like me. Meanwhile, small air is foggy and smoggy in LA. We got other things to worry about. So I wish everyone the best, and I keep it pushing. Let me see what some other people have to say. Let me see. Ryan is driving had over 1 million channels. But here, Ryan is driving. I know George is gone, but here's the difference with Ryan is driving. Ryan is driving. His content was focused on the antics of the riders in his car. He he had he was not speaking about the needs and wants and interest of drivers when it came to operating a vehicle for revenue purposes on a gig app or rideshare. Ryan is Driving was an entertainment channel that basically, at the end of the day, was a reality show. That's what it was. He had a reality show, and he had a way of. I mean, look, I could have put a video in here, and I could have done the same thing too, but I didn't want to go there because I did not want to go through what Ryan went through, which is dealing with being deactivated off of Uber and possibly dealing with people suing him because of not getting model releases. Basically, what he was doing was a violation of Uber's terms of service, and I'm like, I don't want to go down that slope. I'm not going to do it. So, I mean, yeah, it would have been great if Uber allowed that to continue going on to show all the stuff that was happening. But I will tell you, if I made a channel like Ryan is Driving, my channel, to me, the way it was happening with him, I wasn't drawing in that kind of energy. Even there's another guy. I think his name is Dustin. He's in Australia, I think it is, or New Zealand. And his channel was like Ryan is Driving. But Ryan's channel is different because of the type of rideshare content that he was able to provide. Um, so let me see. Dustin is going to try. I think Dustin should try it. Dustin is very engaging. He's cool, but you know what? It's not easy to review a car. It really isn't. The guys who have done it, they make it look easy. But I think part of the reason why I'm having a problem with getting my channel together is because I have a problem with my appearance. See, right now, I look great. I look at my face and I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty cool looking dude. But when I get out this truck and I stand next to it, you're gonna see the real deal. And I'm like, you know what? No, 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 no. No, I am not looking good at all. I don't like the way I look below the waist, and I mean below the neck, and it's just not working. I gotta go and I gotta lose 100 pounds. I'm keeping it real. I weighed well, last time I weighed myself, I was 265 last time I weighed myself, and I need to get down to about 190 pounds. I need to lose a lot of fat, and then I need to rework the weight once again. Going to the gym, working out, muscles, toning myself. Not even muscles at this point in my life. Just get rid of the fat and tone my muscles so I look decent in my polo shirts. Because right now, everything is just all rolling around, and it's not flattering at all. Um, and I think maybe that's my problem. But then at the same time, I should just take a cue from Doug DeMuro. It's not about me; it's about the vehicle and about properly presenting the vehicle to people that need information. They could care less. Just put a nice suit on and look like Pastor Jakes and be okay. That's what I should be. I should be worrying about. Doing that. Um, Let me see. So that's okay. I'm gonna leave that. I am going to leave that alone. I am not going to step in that one at all. Let me see. Uh, Let me see. All right, everybody. Let's see. If the car sucks, drive it off a cliff and watch the video go viral. You know what? You can. Well, yeah. Timmy, that's another thing I'm gonna do. When it comes to the cars, I'm gonna rent them. I'm gonna rent the cars from Turo. I'm gonna go to rental car agencies and rent the cars. I may go to dealerships and do certain reviews or so like that. Um, so um, so that's the thing, brother. You have to go check out the Joker. Um, Oh, Uberman Tampa. When I may end up doing Amazon Flex when I go to Atlanta. I'm not gonna do it out here because I'm still dealing this right now. But when I go out to Atlanta, I may end up doing Amazon Flex out there. We'll see. I haven't made up any minds yet. As far as going to see the Joker, I do not plan on seeing the Joker in theaters. I am going to see Terminator because I love the Terminator. That's one of my that's I gotta see, I've seen every Terminator in theaters. Have I? I think so. Yeah, I love the Terminator. But James Cameron is back for this one, and I gotta see it in theaters. So I gotta do that. I'm going to see Star Wars in theaters. I think most people are going to see Star Wars in theaters. Um, I'm really not interested. I've heard a lot of people talk about Joker, and I like Joaquin Phoenix, and I've seen the trailers and it look good, but I'm gonna tell you, I liked it when Heath Ledger did it, and how Christopher Nolan had it. The only thing that will pull me into the theaters to see it is if Christopher Nolan was doing the film instead of whoever the director is doing it now. Um, these days it takes me a lot to go see a film, and the reason why is because it's the time. I just cannot afford the time to, some things have to get cut, and I'm like right now I spent an hour and 3 minutes talking about this, and I'm like, okay, well, I could have went to a movie theater, I could have went to whatever, but I'm here on the live stream. And for the record, I am officially 72 inches tall, but I have to say 6'1" because people don't believe that I'm only 6 foot tall. So I say, okay, I'm 6'1", and argument usually goes away. But officially, I am 72 inches tall and I weigh 265 pounds. I might weigh a little more than that, probably 270, 275, give or take. But yeah, that's what it is right now. I think it's a traffic officer. Uh, he probably would, more than likely. Heath Ledger was a great actor. It's so sad what happened to him, but if anyone was going to pull it off, I would have to say it would be Heath Ledger. I mean, not Heath Ledger. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin. He kind of retired from acting and he came back, and this is a big way for him to come back. This is a big role for him, and people are really really talking about it. Oh, the other film I want to see is The Irishman. Oh God. Ooh. Even though it's going to be on Netflix, I'm going to go to the theaters and see that one because that I'm sorry, but I've already made up my mind who's going to get the Oscar as far as I'm concerned. Just on the trailer alone, Joaquin, he'll probably win best. He'll probably win the actor the Oscar for best actor. He'll probably get it because that's the kind of role you get an Oscar for. I love Al Pacino, love Robert De Niro, love Joe Pesci. Harvey Keitel, love Harvey Keitel. I think Martin Scorsese is going to get another Oscar for his thing. For directing, for directing Irishman, and whoever helped with the writing on the Irishman will probably get it as well too. this is going to be a very interesting Oscar season because everybody's trying to get in on a piece of the pie with this one. If the Emmys were any indication, the primetime Emmys were any indication, this is these Oscars when they come around next year is going to be tough on who's going to get what. But I think Joaquin is going to win this. It's a guaranteed shot for him. Best Picture, who knows? Because all the pictures haven't been really released yet. They're all just now starting to really come out. Um, so we'll see what happens. This is going to be good. But we've got some great movies this year. We've got some really good movies this year, man. I'm looking forward to The Irishman. Um, I'm looking forward to Terminator. I'm looking forward to Star Wars. I hope they got it right. I am disappointed that they brought back Palpatine. However, um, the only reason why I'm even remotely cool with it is the fact that Palpatine is played by Ian McDermott, and he's so effective in that role. I'm like, oh man, just to see him one more time. So now it's like, okay, now I gotta see it because because I had no plans on seeing the Star Wars movie. I really didn't. But when I heard that Palpatine is back, it's like, okay, how? And it better not be like they did in episode 7 where you saw Luke for 5 seconds at the end of the film. I mean, come on. So that's that. Um, so let's see. So over 50 actually. Okay, I was 265 when I started. Whoa, whoa, really? You're 199 now? Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, you're right. It's 50 pounds I gotta drop. Okay, I do that. Combine that with some stuff. That'd be great. So, oh man, that's impressive, man. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that, man. Uberman Tampa lost 50 pounds doing it. Okay, it's wise to wait to sign up for Amazon until you're ready. They don't change your region that easy. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I get to I get out there because I have to transfer my driving record to the state of Georgia and everything like that and that's the thing. So if I'm gonna do that, the reason why I'm moving to Atlanta is because I need a completely and totally fresh start in life. Um, I I have a lot of heartbreak here in Los Angeles. Um, I've lost so much, and I want to start over. And I think the best way for me to do it is to completely and totally start over and break existing ties here. Um, I'm torn on it, but at the end of the day, both logically and emotionally, is something I want to do. And I lived out there for a year, so I'm already familiar with the area to a certain degree. And I already know where I'm moving to. The place is already set up, waiting for me, and it's something I'm looking forward to. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disappoint somebody. It's a call I have to make because I gotta let them know what's going on. I haven't told them. I'm letting y'all know, and I should have told him, but I gotta I gotta do this. What is a viral opinion to you, in your honest opinion? That's a good question. What is a viral video? I think, in general terms, a viral video is a video that gets the attention of a lot of people in a relatively quick period of time. Um, I think that the threshold for a viral video, 1 million views, and you are a non-celebrity, meaning, like for example, you know, okay, I'll tell you what a viral video was and what convinced me to start doing videos for YouTube. Years ago, Patti LaBelle introduced her patty pies. That's what people call them, the Patti LaBelle pie. And there was this guy who was a singer, and he made a video talking about how good the Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie was. And because this guy's a huge Patti LaBelle fan and everything, and that's an example of a viral video, because you know what? Here's the deal. A viral video is a video that makes the news. If your video is so big that a local TV station picks it up, that's a viral video. Because eventually someone in the news is going to say, oh, he posted a video and then it went viral. So if you have a video where a news outlet is interested in it, to me, that's a viral video, because eventually someone like me is going to check it out and look at it and watch it, because I didn't search for it. Someone else told me about it. As far as views are concerned, you can have a view with a video with 1 million views, but no one really knows about it, because it may have taken you a couple of weeks or a couple of months to get it or so. But I think the key about a viral video is that the news mentioned it. TV, radio, newspaper, somebody with more influence than the people who would generally see your videos. It was viral. For example, you'll have someone like PewDiePie. I believe he's one of the top viewed subscribers on YouTube. Well, PewDiePie, let's look and see what he's doing right now. PewDiePie, he has 101 million subscribers. He has 3,900 videos, and his videos routinely get millions of views. Did the news talk about that 2.1 million views? No. Here's another one he did a day ago, 3.3 million views. The news doesn't talk about him. You Laugh, You Bad. He did that 2 days ago, 5.2 million views. He gets high viewership because it's relative to the number of subscribers that he has. He has 101 million subscribers. He routinely gets between 1 to 5% of his viewership that watches his videos. So his videos, even though technically every single one of his videos are viral, he really is viral because he has 1/3 of the population of America watching his channel. So his videos aren't viral. I think a viral video is relative to its potential. Like, look at the guy who made the video about the gentleman who caused a racial he called him all kinds of racial slurs in New York City. And he was just calm and collected and whatever. And he has a relatively small channel, but his video received 2-3 million views. Well, that's a viral video because he has a small viewership, but he received a lot of views in a very short amount of time. That is not characteristic of channels similar to his. That's a viral video. A viral video depends on a lot of factors, but the number of views I don't think the number of views is one of them, because you have a big subscriber, a big channel. Use a straight number of 1 million as a viral video. He makes a viral video every single time. Look, this guy consistently 5.2 million views, 4.6 million views, 8.2 million views, 6.1 million views. Every one of his videos is viral. This dude is the king of YouTube, but he's not going to be reported on the news. If your video makes the news, you have a viral video, even if you only get 100,000 videos. PewDiePie is who I'm talking about, but if you want my definition of a viral video is a video that ultimately gets the attention of the news, of a news channel. You make a video and that video is reported on the news, and all of a sudden you look up and poof, you got 1 million views because the news reported you. Okay, you got a viral video. That's a viral video. And that's my opinion. You want my opinion? That's it. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but look, when you consider 101 million subscribers, and he's consistently, PewDiePie is going to get a minimum of 4 million views on anything he puts online. I mean, come on, this guy, you know, YouTube is a money machine for him now. I mean, my goodness, one video that made a million views would make me happy. This guy's doing it every day. And I look at PewDiePie's channel, and his channel is junk as far as I'm concerned. But hey, 3.3 million people disagree with me. 2.1 million people disagree with me. 5.3 million people disagree with me. But that's what he does. He makes his money doing his thing. And hey, you know, he has viewership that other people wish they could have. Like me. All right. Let's see. What else? Local or national? Let me see. What's up in LA? Oh, Rideshare Wars. I covered that already, man. I was talking about LAX and what's going on. I was talking about. Wait a second. Rideshare Wars. You are a big channel. I know you are. I remember seeing something about. Well, you're not, but hey, you're gonna get there, man. You got a good name. I love your name. Rideshare Wars is nice. How you doing out there, man? But you know what? Let me tell you something, Rideshare Wars. Everybody started at 1 subscriber. I remember when I started at 1 subscriber. And it was scary, but I did it, and I kept on going. You know, everyone stops and keeps on going or so, but the key is just continue with it and have a good message and present well. Like I'm looking at some of your videos right now, and you present well. That's the key. You know, I have to actually watch your video to see what your voice sounds like, and you know what your eye movements and things are. So, but and look, I'm not a YouTube expert by any chance. I mean, look, my channel, as far as I'm concerned, I still have a small channel. But I will tell you this: if you want to grow on YouTube, you want to watch channels that talk specifically about growing on YouTube. But also your goal should be 2,500 subscribers, because when you get 2,500 subscribers, that is when you qualify to have a branded Amazon channel. I have a branded Amazon channel, amazon.com/ridewithpeterson. When you do that, you'll have the ultimate e-commerce affiliate webpage that you can promote to sell things on Amazon. I haven't promoted it as much as I have, but I've started paying attention to it now, and now I'm like, I'm gonna start promoting my Amazon channel. I have to. Hey, what's up, Bam? How you doing? You know what, Bam? You are absolutely 100% correct. I can't argue with you on that. I do need to get out because I got to make money to pay for this truck. So I do have to get out there and do it. It's good to see you, man. I love your channel, Bam. You are the man. You're really putting it out there. You should have a lot more subscribers than you do. You really should. I'm like, because you have a great channel. You really do. I have a hard time understanding how there's YouTube channels with large subscriber bases and little to no views. Oh, that's easy. Those people are buying subscribers, and they pay a bunch of money to get subscribers on their channels. That's how it is. The key to any channel, if you want to know if it's worth anything, is you want to look and you want to see what the viewership is. My average video, I get 500 views per video. That's my standard on if I know my video has been good or not. If I get less than 500 views, the video wasn't good. If I get more than 500 views, okay, it was a good video. That's been my standard. Um, I'm not trying to be greedy with YouTube. I'm trying to improve myself and go better with it and really learn it, because I'm like, okay, now that I've put myself out there, I really have to go the long road, the long path, the long road. I have to go long with this one. Investors know what I'm talking about. You have to get in this. You have to be fully invested in it, and then eventually you'll grow and you'll learn how to create better videos, so that you get legitimate views, so that you get good revenue from your channel. There are ways to do that, but people who cheat on their channels, eventually it comes up to them. It comes back to bite them hard. The thing is, subscribe. If anyone can tell you about this, about how effective it is, look at Calvin's channel, The Simple Driver. He only has 47 videos on his channel. 47 videos, and yet he has 82,000 subscribers, and he has high relevant information. He knows how to manage his YouTube channel the right way. So I'm like, hey, it's each person has a different experience with YouTube, but at the end of the day, he knows how to present information. He knows how to present it a lot better than I do, and I'm like, hey, that's great. I can learn a thing or two from him or so. Yeah, he's good, and you'll want to do that. But I tell you, learn from other. Yes, Calvin. I can't remember his last name, but Calvin. He's a real cool guy. Um, Learn as much as you can from other channels, and take what you can from them. Like, for example, one of the things I do with my channel is I always start off by giving the exact day and time at the beginning, and I do that because I learned it was at that point in time. Like, now I can look at videos that I made 2 years ago. Excuse me, that was a big one. From 2017, and I said, wow, my mindset was different when I made that video, because I have a frame of reference when I put the date and time, the date and time in place. I could say, yeah, today is October 4th, 2019, but when I say it's Friday, October 4th, 2019, that redefines everything differently for me. And then when I say, okay, right now it is 9:01 p.m., that makes it even more relevant, because it could just, as it looks right now, it could just as easily be 5:01 in the morning. No one would know. I wouldn't know unless I specified what time it is. So in the beginning of the video, I say, hey, everybody, this is Rideshare Peterson. Today it is Friday, October 4th, 2019. It is 9:01 p.m. That gives me a frame of reference. When I look at the videos in the future, I'm like, okay, that's where I was. Because these videos are kind of like a time capsule as well, too. One thing I would tell you, man, you always want to serve your subscribers. The reason why they are here is because they want information for themselves. They like you, but they don't like you that much. They like themselves, and they want to get the information from you because they like you enough. If they can't get it from you, they'll get it from somebody else. So you want to be the one to give it to them. You always want to be of service to your subscribers no matter what, because they are the ones that are going to keep coming back to watch your videos. Because if you lose your subscribers, if you lose your viewers, you won't make money in your videos. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Make sure you get to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as you can. So that way you can monetize your channel. You might not think it's all that much, but I'm telling you, when you get that first check from Google, you'll be motivated to make some videos. It makes a difference. My last check from I was gonna say it, but I think I just remembered you can't really talk about how much money you. It was right around what I expected it to be, and it helped me out. And that's what I do this for. It gives a little bonus when I get the deposit between the 20th. The deposits come between the 20th and the 24th of the month. The earliest I've ever received a deposit was the 20th, and the latest was the 24th. Ebony Cam, hey, thank you so much, Ebony Cam. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, so thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Does anyone else have any questions for me? Bam, you the man. Thank you so much for checking in on me. I appreciate it. Um, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, Rideshare Wars. I think you are. I'm gonna watch your videos. I think you're doing. I think you're doing well. You're gonna do very nicely on here, and it's good to see you. I'm definitely gonna subscribe to you. When is the BMW giveaway? You know what? I'm not giving away a BMW. Nam Lee. I know you want that BMW so bad, but I'm not giving away a BMW. I'm not giving away anything. If I give away anything, Nam Lee, I'm giving away money, okay? Because let's face it, money is the best gift. When people ask me, what do you give for Christmas? I'm like, send me your Venmo and I will send you a birthday gift. I will send you a Christmas gift. I'm not into wrapping stuff. I'm not into going to the stores. Look, you want some money? Here you go. You buy what you want to buy. Believe me, the best gift is the one you get yourself. And I give you money. It's efficient. It's fast. It works. Oh, you might say, okay, what would you rather have, an iPad or the money to buy an iPad? I'd rather have the money to buy an iPad because I might decide, you know what, I'm going to put off the iPad and get something else instead. What would you rather have, a MacBook Pro or the money for the MacBook Pro? I'd rather have the money for the MacBook Pro for the same reason. I might decide to put off the MacBook Pro and get something else. I might decide to get a used one and save the rest of the money and do something else with it. Would you rather get the BMW or the money for the BMW? I'd rather give you the money for the BMW. I don't like that. So so that's the thing. The Nomad, you just finished your 16.5 hour shift. Where at? Were you driving on Uber for that? Because Lyft won't let you go 10 hours. They will shut you down. You could get away driving 16.5 hours on Uber. Um, so let's see. Okay, what else? Okay, I don't think anyone else has any any questions for me. Okay, let me see. Mr. DSN 189, when it was first came out. Oh, Mr. DSN, he says, when it first came out, what was your reaction to the idea of a Borg Queen? Did you like it? Did it seem like it was against the Borg concept? All right. Wow. Star Trek. First, I will say this. Between Star Wars and Star Trek, I love Star Trek. That's my favorite. Okay. The thing about TV shows that's interesting, like Star Trek and the Borg. When I saw Star Trek Insurrection, I'm sorry, Star Trek First Contact, I was disappointed in the film because they never did it. They never gave us a real battle with the Borg. Um, they gave us some real action in Star Trek Nemesis, with Captain Picard ramming the Enterprise E into the scimitar. That was epic to me. I was like, wow, but it was kind of necessary because, I mean, come on, the man was going to go to Earth and was going to obliterate every living thing with his warbird. I'm like, wow. But when they brought the Borg Queen, first of all, I think everyone will agree Alice Krige was absolutely phenomenal in that role. She really should have won an Oscar. She was that good. She was great. But to have the concept of a Borg Queen, I think that was a mistake. I really do. You know, they really ruined the Borg with Voyager, in my opinion. Um, they because they turned. See, the Borg was supposed to be the this malevolent force that you just could not control. But maybe they humanized it when Picard was abducted and they turned him into Locutus. And I mean, the production quality of the episode was the turning point of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it was amazing the way they did it. Um, but it's like, wow, I don't know, because see, on the one hand, I mean, I like it. I mean, I do, but on the other hand, it kind of destroyed the whole premise. And now seeing what they may end up doing with the Borg in a card that's coming on board, I'm like, wow. DS9 was actually a really, really good show, very underrated, and I wish that DS9 actually would have continued on for a little while, but they gave each show a 7-year shelf life. DS9 was a very different departure, and I tell you, I enjoyed DS9 very much, and the Jemadar, oh, those warriors, they were a piece of work. They really were. They the Jemadar was fascinating. It really was. Like, I was watching this one scene where the leader of the Jemadar, they had gotten on the planet to take one of the portals, and the Jemadar just turned and vaporized him just like that. It was like, wow, that he was a Vorta. He was so irritable, because I'm like, oh my God, they killed him just like that. He was a semi-important character. He was gone. But part of it was like, thank God that dude is gone. It was fascinating, but um I don't know. At the end of the day, you got to look at it for what it is. They got to keep the main characters alive, because if the Borg, look, technically, and we all know this in the back of our heads, technically, what happened at the beginning of Star Trek First Contact, Earth should be on board right now. And we know it. We know it. I mean, the Borg, I mean, how in the world are you going to stop uh, a big cube that can adapt to all different types of weapons, and assimilate everybody and disperse nanopods in the atmosphere and whatnot, and you got one little quaint, to take Shinzon's words, one little quaint vessel going against the big Borg cube. That's not supposed to work that way. You know, the Enterprise was supposed to run into. I loved it. Oh, you know what? The original Enterprise, I really never got into it. I really didn't get into it. That's the one show I truly have to watch the whole series of it from the beginning. What's shocking to me was that they canceled it. They really didn't get to fully complete because the show was canceled. But I'll tell you this about Star Trek Enterprise that turned me off. I didn't like the intro. I did not like the intro at all. Um, and I couldn't. One of the reasons why I like the intro of all the other shows is because I like the music, and I like the graphics and how it all started off. You know, when Star Trek: The Enterprise, Star Trek: The Next Generation came forward, especially when they changed the intro beginning season 3. I really wasn't a fan of Star Trek, the intro to DS9, but it did the job. Voyager had the best intro out of all of them. I mean, it was just wow. You know, the original music, um, the way the warp nacelles went up and it went to light speed and warp speed, and just the graphics and everything. The music really, I really appreciated Voyager, um, but Enterprise, I really couldn't get into the show that much. Now, Discovery, I love Discovery. I mean, I know the show has a lot of haters, and the show hasn't really done a lot or so like that, what it could have or so. But they really stepped it up, um, graphically, technically, with Discovery. I think they did a really good job with Discovery. Um, and I'm hoping they extend that more with Picard. Um, Voyager was good. I think if you liked but the problem with Voyager was that it was a little too neat all the time. Um I even liked Star Trek the Motion Picture. I thought it was really cool, but I'm gonna tell you, the works of art with Star Trek, everyone will tell you the work of art was Star Trek 2 The Wrath of Khan and Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. Of all the Enterprises, those of all the Star Treks, those are the best ones. My best scene ever in Star Trek is when the crew is going to look at the starship. One of my best scenes was when at the beginning of Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, when they were going back to state the ship and how it was the new experimental vessel, and it just outperformed. It was supposed to outperform the Enterprise in every way. And back then when I was a kid watching that, oh man, that was that was amazing. Um, Star Trek Generations was okay. I don't like what they did with Captain Kirk, but I understood why they did it. Believe it or not, um, one of the best explosion scenes ever anywhere was when the star drive section of the Enterprise D, when it did the warp core breach. They were very technical with that. I like how um, there were there it was literally three explosions. You had the first explosion when the hatch blew, and you saw that. Then you had the second explosion, when it went a little bigger, and then you had the third explosion when the entire star drive section vaporized, and it put out the shockwave. I love that explosion scene. Oh my God, it's like wow. Um, I like how they did you know it would have been good if they could have done two movies with the Enterprise D, but it's understandable why they let it go. It's like they had to. They needed a new set, and they like we need to let go of the ship, and that's the thing. They like to destroy the Enterprise now, so it's something. Speaking of the Enterprise, I really do hope they address what happened to the Enterprise. Um, in Picard, I heard that there won't be the Enterprise in the Picard, Star Trek Picard, but they have to talk about it because you cannot have Star Trek without the Enterprise. However, Captain Picard will be on a different type of ship this time around, so we'll see. This will be something. Let me see. Never watched. Do you think the Borg Queen was supposed to be a genetically pure example of the original Borg race? No, I never thought that. I think that they got I think they actually, when it came to the concept of the Borg Queen, where it was just her head and the skeletal, and they put her into the artificial body and they clamped around her like that or so. I thought that was brilliant. I love that part because but and to say she was a different species, because she mentioned her species in an episode of Voyager. No, I think she mentioned it actually in no, they mentioned her. I'm sorry, they mentioned her in First Contact. They mentioned her species in First Contact because that's when she was introduced in First Contact. She wasn't introduced. She was. They talked about her in Voyager because it became part of the universe, because Voyager was still on the air when the Borg Queen was introduced in the movies. So they decided to roll with it and go from there. Um, Now, Alice Krige, she obviously did a better job as the Borg Queen than Susanna Thompson did. Susanna Thompson was good, but Alice Krige just got that 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 amount of sinister just right. And I liked how they ended the show. A lot of people don't like how they ended Voyager, but the way it ended at the end, that was the only way it could have possibly ended, with the Admiral dying and all like that. Um, that was something. At the end of the day, it's like this. It's all a work of fiction and was written to make sense, even though it was all total fiction, and it worked. And I'm a fan. I like it. I hope they get it. I hope they get it right with season 3 of Discovery, and they get it right with Star Trek Picard when it comes out. It'll be great seeing Patrick Stewart, and we'll see that. Do you think there are any original Borg left? Oh no, because the Borg is now going on to a whole new thing in Picard. Remember, the transwarp hub was destroyed when Janeway came back from the Delta Quadrant, and what happened was when the transwarp hub was destroyed and the Queen was killed, the Borg that were in the universe, they really lost their sense of collective at that point. That logically, that is what had to have happened. Um, there was no central framework for them to work with anymore, because accordingly the Queen was controlling all of that. And now you have Borg in their cubes and spheres all around the universe, and they're basically operating on their own in chaos. And so that's what I think is going on now. And it'll be very interesting to address that element of the show. Um, Picard will answer all of those questions. I'm almost certain they will. The mere fact that they have Jerry Ryan back as Seven of Nine, more than likely she'll be using her name, Annika Hansen, um, is significant. It makes a difference. Even Hugh, they brought back Hugh as an individual Borg, and the Romulans are doing experiments on the Borg. I'm like, what? It'll be a very fascinating show to see. Plus, you got to figure the production value, and everything has now changed. It's a totally different ball of wax now with this new way of doing the show. What, 25 years later, after Next Generation is gone, after Voyager is off the air, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm excited to see what's going on, with the whole deal. Um, do they ever show the war? No, they don't. The war was given a very small blurb beginning of Star Trek First Contact. That's all you saw of the start of the Borg War. Um, then of course at the beginning of season 4, with the Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Okay, sorry, I meant, do you think there are any drones that are from the original Borg race, or are they all long dead and all drones are from subjugated races? Huh, that's a good question. Are there any drones that are from the original Borg race? Um, I think that there are Borgs from the original Borgs are still there. Um, I personally think that what happened basically was the Borg, they started regaining their individuality, because when the central hub was destroyed, there was no longer any control. There was no longer unity. There was no singular focus with all the Borg, and so they maintained their biological and their distinctiveness started to reemerge, but they did not go back fully to being what the species were before they were assimilated, because of the cybernetic implants in their bodies. So I think the Borg really started. Think of it like this: when the central hub was destroyed, um, and the Queen was killed, because you would have to suppose that the Queen was killed when Janeway infected the Borg with the nanotechnology and killed them all or so like that. You had cubes and spheres that were towers of Babel. No one was communicating with one mind, one voice, one objective. Now everyone was going back to what they were before they were assimilated. And if they were affected in a negative way, traumatized because of the assimilation process, that impacted them as well too. You probably had some Borg that decided to kill themselves because they woke up and they're like, "Oh my God, I got all." How would you feel if you woke up one day and you were a Borg? Would you be happy about it or not? It depends if you thought it was a good thing or a bad thing. Those who thought it was a good thing, they continued to live. Those who thought it was a bad thing, they probably killed themselves. Same thing. I would figure that's what happened. I think those are questions that will be answered when the show comes out because, they think about little stuff like that. Whereas Voyager timeline, Voyager is probably decommissioned in the timeline. Remember, this Star Trek Picard is basically picking up roughly the same amount of time as if he left the Enterprise E. It went out of service. Another commander, another captain got it, another crew. Picard is now an admiral and now he's retired. Um, so it's probably 20, 25 years later. Um, you know what? I'm gonna tell you about in the show of all this stuff after everything. Voyager's probably decommissioned. DS9 is doing whatever. So I don't think they're gonna go into the starships so much. They'll address they'll probably gloss over the Enterprise maybe once or twice and that's it. I don't think we're gonna see all of the crew from Enterprise come back, but it would make sense. I mean, like I would love to see some cameos and some occasional appearances by the various people that were involved with the show. Um, I mean, hey, look, they're going through the trouble of bringing back bringing back Riker and Deanna Troy. Um, Brent Spiner is coming back as Data. That's a big deal, especially considering he's gained weight. I mean, have you ever heard of an android that gained weight? But they're gonna make sense of this. We all thought that Data was completely obliterated in the destruction of the Scimitar, but apparently that wasn't the case. They were able to retrieve him from the wreckage. They didn't talk about during that, and Captain Picard kept him. Who knows what happened to B4? Because if they're going to show Data, they're going to have to show B4, unless it's a holographic projection and he's just in the hologram. He's in the holodeck or something like it, and he's just playing with his recreation of Data in the holodeck. Um, and it's telling because the android and not Admiral. So premium technology vision. Hey, what's up? Um, that show when it premieres on CBS, they're gonna get a lot of subscribers for that one show alone. I mean, Discovery was one thing, but Picard is something else, especially with Data, because people want these questions answered now. And if they were smart, they would just go on ahead and release all the seasons now. But they're not going to do that. They're going to stretch it out like they did with Discovery and make us wait a week and watch it on streaming channels or so. But I personally don't think we're going to get more than 2 seasons out of this. So see how it goes. I would love to see the S10 the Samsung Galaxy S10 on 5G in operation. That would be great. I don't know if LA has 5G service. I'm personally not going to get with their iPhone for 5G, and I don't think Apple will release a 5G phone until the iPhone 13. I think they're going to skip over the 12, and it's going to be the 13 when it comes out. It will be or knowing Apple, we have the iPhone 11, so then you're going to have the iPhone 11s and then the iPhone 12. So when the iPhone 12 comes out, that's when they'll release 5G, because right now it's not ready. You know, the Android manufacturers, they're making it happen now. Um, but as far as like service wise, can everyone get it? Everywhere I go, ooh, it's not ready. And you know, I understand the technology behind 5G enough. Hey, I always watch your past live videos, but I've never joined one until now. Hey there, good evening to you. Thank you. You know what? I really need to go. Maybe this just needs to be my YouTube channel. I just make live videos and I talk, and that's it, and whatnot, and go from there. But I do need to start driving. Um, those of you who are with me, Uber and Lyft is tough, and I'm leaving it next month. I'll be, I'll be, I don't expect to be doing much driving after November 15th. I really don't. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang on just long enough to enjoy the money from Halloween, and then hey, Mr. DSN, I appreciate that. Next time, I'll probably devote the channel strictly to um to um to talking about tech stuff like this. That'd be cool. Um, yeah, but after November 15th, it's highly unlikely I'll be doing rideshare. That's just, I'm just keeping it real. I hate doing number two in those bathrooms at LAX. I always have wipes with me now. Oh yeah, Puro.com. You want to do that, but here's the deal. In my opinion, this is what I would recommend you do. I'm gonna give you one of my secrets, okay? The best bathroom to go to is the restroom at the Westfield Century City Plaza. I park my vehicle at level 2, parking level 2, and I go to the restrooms. They're located right next to the Apple Store. So you go down to level 2, or you go to level 1. But level 1 usually there's a lot of cars on level 1. So I go to level 2. I get a spot on the far south side of the building where the Nordstrom entrance is, and you go right up the escalator. You do the U-turn. You see the Apple Store, and you keep going where the elevators are, and you have a long bank of bathrooms once you go down to the bathroom area. Each bathroom has its own private door that locks behind you. You open the door, you close it, you lock it. You have a nice shelf you can put your things on. The room is big enough. If you wanted to take off all your clothes, you can take off your clothes. And what I do, I usually take off my pants. And the reason why I take off my pants is because you have so many people that go in and out of that restroom, and invariably you're gonna have people that drip urine on the floor. And so what I'll do is I'll usually get maybe 6 or 7 toilet seat covers, and I'll put those on the floor. So when I remove my pants don't touch all that urine that's sitting on the floor. But other than that, the bathroom is clean. Now, there are 2 types of wipes I take with me when I go to that bathroom, because I am very particular about that. Oh, and I got another thing to show you too. First, I use Clorox disinfecting wipes. This is crisp lemon, and these are pure disinfecting wipes that you use on the toilet seat. And I use up to 4 of these. I take 2 of them in my hand, and I wipe the top of the seat underneath the rim of the toilet. When it comes to sitting on public toilets, I'm a germaphobe. I do not trust them. So I want that stuff dead, okay? I don't want it killed, I want it dead. So I use these. They give you a nice crisp lemon smell. So these are for the toilet. These you have to throw in the trash. You do not flush these. You throw these in the trash, okay? And then once I wipe it, once I make sure everything is nice and dead on the toilet and around it and everything, and I feel comfortable enough to sit on it, then I use Cottonelle for me. Now the Cottonelle, these are nice, they're soft, and they're very, very, very nice to use. And you're going to be nice and clean after this. Now these are flushable. You can flush these. I use these for me. And what else? Oh, and if you need to clean yourself a little stronger, I like to use these. These are called these are Duke Cannon cold shower face and body wipes. But I use this to wipe the whole the whole below the waist area very nice and clean. So it's really good here. These I get at Target. They cost about $25. And what you do is you pop them open, and each one comes in its it comes little individual wraps like this. And so you crack it open like a condom, but it's a nice big towel, and it's double-sided. So one side is soft and the other side has little it gives you like a little exfoliation, and you can use it to really clean up yourself. Or what you do is you clean up the hot zones if necessary. So you get the area below the waist, and you get the your underarms. You get one, 2, or 3 depending on how much you want to do it. I've never given myself a full body scrub of these because it's just not enough of it. But if you need to do like a super quick cleanup and you want to get yourself nice and fresh, you use these. And then when I'm done, I do the polite thing and I wipe the seat down again for the next person that's going to come behind me, and then I leave. But you have a nice comfortable spot to go to. And when I need to drop a deuce, that's where I go. Those porta potties at LAX, no. I went into one yesterday for the first time, and I'm like, they just replaced those porta potties. That is hard. That's horrible. It really is. They really. Another thing you could do is this. There's a 76 station south of the 105 freeway. When you go south on Sepulveda, you pass a station to go to. They have 2 bathrooms there. I go there. Yes, Dustin, I'm still here. You know me. I'm the king of you know me. I'm always on these. I'd say it's a short, long stream, but I can't help myself sometimes. I go there. Believe it or not, you could go into the airport if you're willing to pay for the airport charge. Go into a terminal at the airport. You got to go to the restroom. They got plenty of bathrooms in there. Remember, keep your wipe kit with you though. You want to have those wipes. Let's see. Late at night, I go to the Ralph's Westwood. They're open 24/7, so I go there whenever I have an emergency. I go to the Pavilions in West Hollywood. They're open until 2 a.m. No, not the porta potties. No, the last time I used a porta potty was when I was in the Army, when I was 18 years old, because there was no choice. You had to use the porta potty when you were 18 years old. But today, no. You go to Target. You go to who got good bathrooms? Target, the mall, any shopping center has a nice restroom. Go to the family room. Manhattan Town Center, Manhattan Beach Town Center. They have a good restroom there. I'll go there. I don't like going to Panera Bread. They're the 2 that I go. There's 3 Panera Breads I go to, and I don't like doing it. West in Westwood, not Westwood, I'm sorry, Westchester, because I go to that Panera Bread all the time. But it was an emergency. I had to go, but I don't like going there. In part for a couple of reasons. Number one, the bathrooms are clean, but they're not well maintained. In other words, people can see through the cracks of the door. And people are perverts when they like watching you while you're on the bathroom dropping the deuce. That's not cool. Sometimes the locks don't go right all the time, and then you may not have enough towels to do what you need to do or so like that. And I just think that's really uncool. So you got that. Let me see. Hang on for 1 second. Okay. There we go. I will be downtown tonight. Okay, Lorenzo. Let me see. I won't be downtown tonight. It'll be. Let me know if you want to meet or so like that. Tell me what you want to do, and we could meet if necessary. I gotta drive though. I really gotta drive. I definitely gotta put it out, but I gotta drive. I will be downtown tonight. Let me see. Deuce stalkers. Yes, that is what they are. Look, this is what I found. Instead of calling number 2, you say you want to drop a deuce. Everyone gets that. That's the better way of saying it. You want to drop a deuce. Let me see, Mr. Peterson. Is it not possible to make $2,000 a week in LA on Uber X? In order to make $2,000 on Uber X, divide that by $2,000. I'm sorry, $2,000 divided by 0.64 cents a mile. You need to drive 3,125 miles, passenger miles. Divide that by 6 days because you're going to want a break. You'll have to drive 520 miles a day in order to make $2,000 a week on Uber X. You will have to take every single trip that comes your way. You will have to work the entire 10 hours from the moment it starts until the moment it stops. If you're going to do it, the best time for you to work will be between the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 12 hours. You have to commit yourself to it. No breaks, no time off. If you take a break, you must be very strict on 15 minutes. Are you taking rolling breaks? Can you make $2,000 a week? Hey, I heard of a guy who's making $2,500 a week on Uber X, but it will break you. It broke me. I say it like that, and that was when rates were nearly $1 a mile. So, if you want to try to make $2,000 a week on Uber X, try it. You might be successful. You might be able to consistently do it all the time, but I don't think so. There's this song by it's called "If Your Heart Isn't in It." It's a who sang the song? If your heart isn't. I wish I could play that song for you. It's by the group At LAX. Look it up and play it. And that is how I feel about rideshare. If your heart isn't in it. If you want to know how I feel about rideshare, just look up "If Your Heart Isn't in It" by At LAX. That is my theme song now for rideshare. If your heart isn't in it. I'm going to put that at the beginning of, I'm going to put that as my hashtag from now on in all my videos. Because I want, and don't just listen to the song, watch the video, okay? Just watch the video. That's how I feel about it. It's the romance that has ended. You know, it's like what Gladys Knight says. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. No, it wasn't. It wasn't her. It was what was the song? It wasn't. That was a different song. Um, say say goodbye. What's the name of that song? Say goodbye. B-Y-E. Gladys Knight. The First to Say Goodbye by Gladys Knight. That's it. Oh, goodness. No, the name of the song is Neither One of Us. That's the song. That's the cut. Oh, goodness, I'm about to cry. That's the cut right there. Neither One of Us by Gladys Knight. Ah! Whew. Yes, 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 yes. Geo did it numerous times on Uber X. Yes, Geo did it numerous times on Uber X, and I'm gonna tell you, he would tell you when it comes to rideshare, Geo is the Terminator. He is unstoppable. He is a robot. And when I say he's the Terminator, he's the first Terminator. He is the T-800 of. That's my nickname for Geo. Geo is the T-800 of rideshare. He is unstoppable. You shoot a leg off, he's gonna keep going. You shoot an arm off, he's gonna keep going. You shoot his whole body off, he's still gonna keep going. You gotta dump him in a metal vat to get rid of him. And even then, his microchip is still gonna survive. I mean, come on. Geo is T-800, okay? Me, I don't know, but I'm sure he'll dream of a creative name for me. I can't wait to hear it. He'll probably call me lazy. Probably say I'm the laziest driver on rideshare. So let's see here. Let me see. But you gotta also realize that Geo is in a totally different area, and Geo has really mastered his area where he's located. So you can't fault him for that. Yeah. So let's see here. No, I don't offer water anymore. I am unable. I can't afford the. I can't afford the water. I'm barely able to afford gas for this truck. Why am I going to give people water when I can't pay for it anymore? Here's the thing. Everything for me changed for Uber when I turned in the BMW. When I turned in the BMW, everything went south at that point. Um, Dressing up in a suit and tie every day, can't afford the dry cleaning anymore. Um, I can't afford to give away the water because the rates for Uber Select, that's what paid for the water. I would get a trip, I would get a ride. It paid $20. I would take that one trip. I would buy $20 worth of water. That water would last me for a couple of weeks. I can't afford to do that anymore. Um, so no, Geo is a single guy. He's responsible only for himself, like me. I'm responsible for just myself. Could I produce that kind of money in a week? Yeah, I could. If I really, really, really pushed it that hard, and as weeks go on, I will produce that kind of money because I have to. I need the money so I can transition away from rideshare. I was supposed to do it this week, but it didn't work out for me this week. So I'm not going to beat myself over it. I'm saying, look, I'm going to make the money I need to make to get past this week, and then I'm gonna go again beginning next week with a different approach to this whole thing. So that's where I am as far as this is concerned. Man. Complaint file. Oh, these people are something else. All right, let's see what else we got going here. The question is, will the changes at LAX affect surge pricing? If you haven't realized, Alan, surge pricing is gone. Um, we don't have the multiplier anymore. Los Angeles County was one of the last areas in the country to still support surge pricing with the multiplier. Now you've got the flat surge, and that's going to go the way the algorithm says to go. But I can tell you this: beginning January 1st, if the driver, forget about it, it's not going to happen anymore, because you're going to be paid by the hour to do the work. You're not going to be paid by the mile or to get a bonus to go and pick up or something like that. Um, It'll be interesting to see what will happen. It probably it probably everything will probably stay the way it is right now. It's just that it'll be much easier for the drivers to get into LAX. They pick up the passengers where they are at the central, at that one main location, to deal with that. If anything, I would say this: riders will probably be unhappy with it when they get off their airplanes. They go pick up their luggage, and then they're gonna be corralled around like cattle. They're not gonna like that. I wouldn't like that at all. If anything, what might end up happening is this: people who have Uber Black, Uber Select, Uber Black, drivers who have TCPs, they're going to get more business at LAX, because they're going to be some people that says, you know what, they're going to experience they're going to experience that bus shuttle thing, and they're not going to like it at all. They're not going to like the fact that they have to take all their luggage and they have to lug it to the curb. Then they got to lug it on board a shuttle. They got to drive around with it. They got to take it all out, and then they got to lug it, and they got to push it all again. No, they're not going to like it. Some people will actually say, you know what, forget this. I'm only going to handle this luggage one time, and that's to get it from the carousel to the curb, and then I want a car to pick me up at the curb. And they're going to have to order a XL with a TCP, a Select, a Black, a Lux, a SUV that's going to come and pick them up and take the luggage from there. Because I have picked up enough people from LAX where literally I have 6 people in the vehicle, and then each person has one of those huge suitcases. I had the luggage in the back from LAX stacked all the way up to the top. I can't even see out the rear window because they have so much luggage that they have. And this truck handles it well. That's why I have it. This truck is great for picking up at LAX. You're not gonna. All these people aren't gonna want to drag all that stuff from the move it, pay more money for a black SUV, a Lux car, or XL that's willing to come into the terminal and pick them up. And they will be surprised that a lot of vehicles won't be able to do it. I don't have an airport permit on this vehicle, so I won't be able to pick up at the terminal. If you want to pick up at the terminal, you have to have a TCP, your own TCP. You have to have your own airport permit. And yeah, you have to have your own airport permit. You have to have your own TCP. Lyft will allow the loophole if you have an ordinary vehicle to get your own TCP, because you don't have to have a luxury car to get a TCP. You can have a Prius with a TCP. You can have a ordinary SUV with a TCP. But for Uber, the only people that will be able to pick up with Uber will be Uber Black, unless Uber changes the rules and say, okay, effective January 1st, all drivers have to have their own TCP. I would not be surprised if Uber imposes that beginning January 1st, because these rideshare companies are determined to keep the driver as independent contractors. And so they may say, look, we're not going to allow independent contractors. I mean, we're not going to allow TNC drivers anymore. If you want to be an independent contractor on Uber, you have to have your own TCP, your own airport permit, your own corporation or LLC. And it starts from there. As far as Uber Select is only if the driver of the vehicle engages Uber Select. Most TCP holders don't allow their fleets to run on Uber Select. They want Uber Black or above. Um, just to give you an idea of just how much money you can make on an Uber ride, I recently took a short ride on Uber, on Lyft Lux Black. Lyft Lux Black SUV. This lady needed a ride. I had to drop her off. Where did I take her? It was a very short distance where I took her. Anyway, I picked her up and I drove her maybe 4 miles, and I got $33 for that trip. I was blown away. It was nice. I'm like, wow, oh, okay. I picked her up in Beverly Hills. I picked her up near Wilshire and Gale. It's like right before, like Wilshire and La Cienega, right there. And I took her to Republic on La Brea and Wilshire. La Brea and Wilshire, like 3.3 miles away. Short ride, but she wanted top of the line because apparently I think she wanted an Escalade to pick her up, but she got me instead. And I didn't complain. She got a nice ride, and she was very happy with it. She gave me a tip, so she was obviously happy with the trip. But the thing was that one trip was $32 and change. With an XL, she would have paid not even $8 for the trip. It helped me in a big way because I definitely needed the money. But yeah, it's going to be interesting when this new thing rolls out. Now that they finally given us a date when they're opening the lot, October 29th. You know, the funny thing is they're opening it at the worst possible time because that's Halloween. You're going to have so many people coming in on that day. Drivers won't know what to do. They actually, so that we could get used to it, so that when we get the rush of people around Halloween, we'll know what to do. But you know, it's LAX is in their infinite wisdom, they're doing this thing. So she probably would have tipped more had there been caramels. No, I don't depend on caramels anymore. As far as Select, as far as Select, the market for Uber Select is gone. Uber Comfort is taking care of that. All the people who are looking for Uber Select, those rides are officially gone. Because why would I want to pay for Uber Select when for $1 more than an Uber X, I can get essentially what I'm looking for, a comfortable car. So yeah, comfort kills Select. And I told Uber that when they had us in a special group about a year before this thing came out. It was marketed under as Uber Plus, but now it's called Uber Comfort. Now Uber Select is dead. So for now, the only vehicle I recommend for Uber is a SUV, a full sizer like this. I am driving a 2014 Yukon, GMC Yukon XL, black on black with its own TCP. I actually got this vehicle as a hedge because I had actually expected to continue driving well into next year. I did not anticipate that my feelings for rideshare would change, but they changed in a very dramatic way. I'm making a decision to leave in November because the place that's available for me, it's available beginning November 1st. And if I don't take it, someone else is going to get it, and they're going to pay for the rent in the spot. If I don't take the apartment, I mean, if I don't take the room, if I don't take the room, someone else is going to get it, and I will end up being in this vehicle for I will end up being in the situation I'm in right now for about 2 years, 2 more years, and at this point in my life, that's unacceptable. I can't. I'm doing okay with it, but I do not want to go into 2020 um, homeless. I don't. An opportunity came for me to solve the problem, and there's a line I heard on this show called Altered Carbon. It's on Netflix. I like it. You take what's given, or you take what's offered, or so like that. Someone has offered me an opportunity to fix my number one problem, which is having stable housing. But in order for me to get it, I need to relocate. If I stay here in California, I'm going to be still sleeping in this truck. If I did not have a choice, then yeah, I would do it because I would have to. But I have a choice in this matter, and I'm going to take it. Let me see. I hope you get to where you want to be. I hope so too. I really do. Uh, Uber Select will not bounce back. I'm sorry. Uber Select is gone. People for rideshare, they are looking for the cheapest ride possible. Um, they're not trying to spend money on a nice ride. It's not valued anymore. If it were valued, I would tell people to get back into do Uber Select or so. Uber Select is not going to bounce back. People want cheap rides. Um, she probably would have tipped more had there been caramels. I have nowhere to put the goodies in the car anywhere. So let me see. Speaking to a couple of riders today, some people are pissed off. Oh, there are going to be a lot of people pissed off because LAX is doing this new thing, but they have to. The congestion at the airport is too much, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why they're doing it now is because they're doing it to prepare people for the people mover, for the automated people mover. They're getting people used to the idea now. They're saying, look, it's a very difficult, very controversial decision they have to make, but there's going to be a lot of construction going on at LAX because they're going to be on a very tight time. They have a lot of stuff they want to complete in the next 6 years, and they need the space to do it, and they need the time to do it. And so they're like, hey, this is the way it has to be. If people still want to be picked up at the curb, don't fly into LAX. Fly into John Wayne. Fly into Ontario. Fly into Palm Springs. I mean, there are other options instead of going to LAX. It's going to be tough. It's going to ruin the reputation of LAX for a while. That's for sure. But the traffic is difficult, and the drivers are driving worse and worse by the hour now at this point. So it's like, hey, it's one of those things where, look, I think if a lot of people see that, what, you might not like it, but it's actually going to be faster, then perception will change in about 6 to 9 months. That's how long it's going to be. But at least now they have a firm date of when they're going to open this thing, and we know it's going to. Because for the longest, I didn't know when it was going to open. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. The 29th. It's like, okay, they're establishing it on the slowest day of the week, which is the 29th. But it's actually coming during the worst time of the week, which is right at Halloween. You know how many people are going to start coming into town beginning Wednesday and Thursday? It's going to be a total catastrophe. Going into the week. They really should have waited until November. I think they should have waited until. At this point, this is what's going to start happening. They had to start it now, because things are going to be a mess when about a week before Thanksgiving. They need people to get used to this now. There was actually, you know, when they were planning on opening it, they were actually planning on opening it um, Labor Day weekend. That's when they originally wanted it done, but it got behind schedule, and so they have to do it now. But they really wanted it open on Labor Day weekend. But hey, you know what? It was going to happen no matter what. It was going to happen. Um, you see a lot of the reason why select rides on that people come pick you up in crappy. I won't be doing rideshare in Atlanta. The rates in Atlanta are too low in Atlanta, and I don't know what I'm going to get when I'm out in Atlanta. I found a dealership in Atlanta, and they have a car for sale that I would love to have. I saw it, and I'm gonna tell y'all probably gonna find the car. Someone's gonna buy it from me or so like that. But look, they have. I fell in love with this car, and I've always loved this car since it first came out, and I'm like, you know what? If I had the money, I would buy it right now. And they still have it, and hopefully they have a 1991 Oldsmobile Toronado. Now, I have loved that car since I was a kid when they were brand new. I remember when those cars were $30,000, and they have one that is exceptionally clean. And I'm looking at it. It is silver with gray leather interior, and it's towards the last years when they made the car. And I'm looking at this car. It only has 88,000 miles on it, and I'm like, wow. I'm sorry, it has 89,000 miles on it, and I am in love. This car is clean, and I'm like, if I had, they want how much they want? They want $4,488 for this car. I would be in heaven if I could get this car. I love it. It's not a popular car, and if they still have it while I'm out there, I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna get this car. If they still have it, because you know those cars, they don't. Those old 1990s Oldsmobiles like this, they don't sell. People don't want those cars. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm in love with this car. I gotta have it. So yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. I mean, it's the body is clean, the interior is clean. Everything is factory original except for the aftermarket radio on the bottom of it or what have you. But oh my goodness, if I could have that car, wow, ooh, I would love it. Yeah. But as far as anything else I drive, I don't know. I'm gonna get the best thing I can get, that I can pay for, to get me around, because I'm not gonna be doing rideshare in Atlanta, and I don't think I'll be doing gig work in Atlanta either. I'm gonna get a regular job in Atlanta, starting over like that. Yeah. So that's the thing. But if you want to know what I really want, I want that Toronado. That's what I want. Oh man, love to have that Toronado. Does the SUV hurt you on gas? Yes and no. The SUV, it costs me now about $120 to fill up this truck. I'm getting about 10 miles to the gallon, but on average, I'm making $20 a trip in this truck. I'm about to turn it on in a few minutes. I'm gonna get out here and start driving, and if I'm lucky, by the time it hits 4 o'clock, I'll make about $120, because I haven't driven today. So you know, I got to do it. I got to make up for it tomorrow. People do not deserve select luxury prices because they pick people up in old beat up cars. Well, that depends on what area you're in. You don't get old beat up cars in LA. LA, everything's about image out here in Los Angeles. And when you order select black SUV and Lux in LA, you get a nice car in LA. That's how it is. Um, um, for XL, when I do it, I average about one trip an hour. I'll do anywhere from 8 to 12 trips a day. And when I say a day, I'm talking working the entire 10 hours that Uber allows. Um, if I work it the right way, meaning I have enough gas and I gave myself enough time, I'll make about 350 a day with the truck. Um, but the thing is, it's like everything else, you got to apply yourself properly. Like today, look, it's hard for me to do this now. I'm just not motivated to do it anymore. I'm keeping it real with you, and so I'm doing just enough to pay the weekly payment on the car and the gas to keep it going, and that's basically it. But I can expect to do about 10 trips a day, and the minimum I get for a trip is about $4.80, and then it goes up from there. But my average trip is $20, and I get tipped on about 50% of the trips that I make, either in cash or in the app. I get tips really good in the truck. It's unlike X or regular Lyft where you don't get tips. In this SUV, I get tips. I use my lemon oil, and I put a couple of sprays in here. My rating is 4.98 to 5.0 on Lyft. I get I have a 4.97, I believe, on Uber Black account. So it's what it is. So yeah, I have to work every day. Shot LA, nice. I was born and raised there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Oh, okay. All right. I hear you. I used to drive in, but haven't in about 2 years. Did I hear you say that Uber only allows you to drive? Yeah, Uber was sued because they weren't following federal law regarding limits on drivers, and now it's a nationwide thing. And for some drivers, it depends. For my Uber Black account, I can only drive 10 hours. For my Uber X account, I can drive 12 hours. The way it works is it counts on for Uber, it's based on you moving the vehicle. So let's say, for example, I had my Uber app on right now, but I didn't move my vehicle. Well, as far as Uber is concerned, I wasn't working, even though the app is on. With Lyft, it's a different story. Lyft is based on when your app is on. So if I sat here for 10 hours and didn't move, at the end of 10 hours, Lyft will log me off. If you're actively on a trip, you can stay on that trip until you end it. Like, I'll tell you this is an interesting story, and then I'm going to leave after this because I do have to work. I picked up a guy in Brentwood. He needed to go to Eagle Rock to look at a new house he was going to rent. He ordered me as Uber Black. I drove him from Brentwood to Eagle Rock. 18 minutes into the trip. This was a 42-minute trip, one way. 18 minutes into the trip, Uber sent me a message and said that I had reached the 10-hour limit. Okay? And that I was not authorized to drive the vehicle anymore. But because I was actively on the trip, I was allowed to continue the trip. I drove the gentleman to Eagle Rock. And then he's like, well, we started talking, and he was only going to be there for about maybe 10, 15 minutes. And so he said, I told him, well, when you go back, are you going to take Uber Black? He says, well, Uber Black is the only way I'm gonna get the ride. He says, you know what? I might as well just sit here and wait for you because you're going to get an Uber Black and I'll be just right here. Well, his 15-minute meeting turned into a 5-minute meeting because he got there, the real estate agent wasn't there. He let himself in the house. He looked around real quick. He came right back out. He says, okay, we can go ahead and go back to my place. He plugged in his address to go back to his house in Brentwood. I made $120 on that trip, and I stayed on the app for 2 hours past the sign-off time because of how the technicality worked with the app. But yeah, they limit you to 10 hours if you're Uber Black, 12 hours if you're doing Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select on a non-PCP account if you're doing TNC. Lyft limits you to 10 hours because it's per federal law. When you are a professional driver, legally you cannot drive more than 10 hours. You cannot be online active at work for more than 12 hours. And there's another limitation on how many hours you can be online for something else. On that note, people, I need to go. I got to pick up a ride because I'm going to run out of gas, and I need to get it together. I've had this car on because my battery is bad, and if I didn't keep the car on, I was gonna go bad. I might run out of gas right now. The engine is feeling kind of weird here. So, hey, thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate that. Any other questions you have, feel free to email to me, ridewithpeterson@gmail.com. That is my email address. I get your emails on the phone right here. And I'm more than happy to respond to your direct questions to me. I also have my cell phone. The phone number is in my description if you need to call me. And we'll go from there. There is one station right now. I believe the gas is at $6 a gallon, but they are the most expensive gas station in the city. I've never seen $6 a gallon before in my life in California. The first time I ever saw $5.99 a gallon was on that screenshot that Dustin posted on the thing, because that's up in San Francisco. $5.99 a gallon. I've never seen it that high before, and I believe in the next couple of days will be the very first time $6 a gallon will be displayed. The gas stations are trying to hold off on it, but it's inevitable. It's going to come. I'm currently spending between $4.15 and $4.59 a gallon, depending on where I go for gas. The most I spent for gas was $4.59. I did that a couple of days ago. But yeah, it's going to hit $5 a gallon for regular. Premium is going to hit $6 a gallon. Something is going on because this gas has been something is going on with the gas to make it go up this fast. The last time this happened was about 8 years ago, where it was just out of control. No, it was 10 years ago actually. And I remember I was driving my boss's Rolls Royce, and gas was $4.50 a gallon for premium, and it cost $120 to fill up the Phantom. So I remember back then, but now we're in $5 territory, and eventually we're going to see that number $6. When I would tell you, when I see $6 a gallon, I'm going to make a video about it and post it because y'all won't believe it. Ooh, that's going to be something. I might buy a gallon just to celebrate. All right, everybody. Let's see. Let me see. If you're ever... Oh, the gas station that has the highest price in California is the Mobile on Beverly and La Cienega. That guy always has the most expensive price of gas. He looks at whoever has the most expensive price and he puts $1 on top of it. And plus it's Mobile, so you know Mobile, Exxon, Chevron, they always charge the most. There's also a gas station. There's a Mobile in downtown LA on Alameda and Cesar Chavez. They have the most expensive gas as well too. And one of the reasons why is because for his particular station, He is the closest state. He is the closest gas station. He's like the only gas station in downtown LA, other than the Shell on Olympic and Grand, I think, by the JW Marriott and the Ritz Carlton. But that Shell is reasonable. But that Shell, even though it's a nice station, it's also sketchy too. The sketchy station, people there are sketch. I only go there if I absolutely gotta go to the gas station. But right, that gas station, that mobile at Alameda and Cesar Chavez, that station, he's there right at the entrance to the freeway, to the 101. There used to be another Chevron over there, but they tore it down years ago when they built the metro line there. I used to go to that station all the time. Really cool guy that worked there. Really, really good pumps to the whole 9 yards. And it was sad. One day I drove there and bam, they were putting up the support column for the railroad. So I'm like, okay, well, the rail line, well, okay, that's gone. But yeah, but we'll see that. But that station you talk about at that intersection of Fairfax, Olympic, and Fairfax, Olympic, and San Vicente, yeah, they up there too. They real pricey. Um, Beverly and Pico, Beverly and Pico, Beverly and Pico. No, Beverly and Pico run the same way. Beverly and Olympic run the same way also. There's a Shell station on Beverly and Fairfax. It's across the street from the CBS studios in the TMZ 3 mile zone. I go there on a regular basis. They're not the highest, but their prices are fairly high. I think the station you're talking about is the one on Beverly and La Cienega. That one's up there. But Beverly Boulevard, Pico, and Olympic, all three of those streets run the same way, man. So, work with me on the intersections. But if you're talking about the Shell on Olympic, San Vicente, and where the three intersections come together. Fairfax runs north and south, and then you have Olympic that runs one way, and then you have San Vicente that runs another. They cross right there at that intersection, which is like, it's a well managed, busy intersection. That gas station is busy too. They like have no, you got all these people that want gas, and the gas station's empty because the gas is too expensive. So every time I drive by that station with the prices skyrocket, all the news vans are there, I get a kick out. Yeah, they want to go there because they want the hyperbole. But you know what? That guy, he's probably the most profitable station in the city, because here's the thing. All the people that go there, they buy the cars, they buy the gas 1, 2, 5, 10 gallons at a time. But he's making a grip on each one of the gallons that he sells. He's making profit on every single gallon that he sells, even though people aren't completely filling up their gas tank. There's another gas station in Santa Monica. It's on, I think it's on Wilshire and, what is that street? I think it's on Wilshire and 17th or Wilshire and 20th. It's across the street from W.I. Simonson Mercedes. And that gas station is expensive too. I mean, my goodness, for a 76 to be as expensive as that gas is. I went in there and mistakenly filled up my gas tank and wondering why my gas tank didn't fill up. And I looked, and my goodness, at that time I had the BMW, and I'm like, why is this gas tank filled up? Because normally it would fill up at $60. And the reason why was because the guy wanted $4.99 a gallon for premium, and that was when I had the Beamer a couple of years ago, before they increased the gas tax, before the gas was going crazy. I'm like, oh, that's why $60 didn't fill it up, because I didn't pay enough for it. I didn't cry over it. It was a done deal. Money was spent. It was in there. I didn't look at it. I just drove in and pumped, and get me for assuming. So now I check the gas price all the time. So yeah, let me see what else. Someone else made a question. No, you're right. It's okay. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been on Earth? I'm hanging in there, Rideshare Jay. I'm doing the best I can, man. We need a recession. So to be like $1 a gallon again. $1 a gallon again is not gonna happen, man. Those days are gone forever. They are in the history books. The lowest price I have ever paid for gasoline was at an Arco station. It was in it's off the 210 freeway and Rosemead. If you go to Rosemead and the 210 freeway and you drive up to Rosemead and Foothill, there's a Arco there, and I paid 93 cents a gallon for gas way back in 1994. I had an Audi 90. It is the precursor to today's A4. And it was a great car. Oh man, it was the first German car that I owned, that I drove, and that car was a dream to drive. I loved it. My first V6 engine. Oh, that car was so nice. I love that Audi. It was an Audi 90 CS, fully loaded, pearl white um, exterior with black leather interior. Oh man, it was my first experience with leather seats in the car, with a V6 engine, with an automatic transmission, with heated leather seats. Um, Nice, firm German ride, lots of space, lots of room. I love that car. That car is so cool. Anyway, gas was 93 cents a gallon back then. Can you imagine? You have a gas tank and it costs you, let's say you have a 20-gallon gas tank and it only costs you 17 bucks to fill it up. Those are the days. Yes, I would love to drive an electric car. In fact, I had a Chevy Bolt for about a month. I rented it through GM Maven, and I loved it. It was great. It was an awesome car. And what changed everything for me was GM took the car out of service because they wanted to replace their 2017s with 2019s. For a week, they gave me a Chevy Malibu. And then when they called me for the replacement 2019, because I was first on the list to get the car, the opportunity to get this SUV came up, and I decided to switch and get the SUV because instead of being stuck on UberX and Lyft, regular Lyft rides, this vehicle qualifies me for everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. And I have options to turn it on and off. Like right now, when I start driving, I'm actually going to take a few regular Lyft rides to put like a quick $10 into the truck, and then do an XL trip and go from there. So I can put some gas in, because I got no gas in this truck, and I gotta move forward. So but yeah, when I drive electric, absolutely. I Right now, I still have a great love affair for Tesla. I would like to have a Model S. I already have my Tesla account set up and everything. There's no car to go with it. But I like the Chevy Bolt. I like the Nissan Leaf. But right now, my favorite electric car would be the Audi e-tron. If I had the bucks, I would get it. But the hot rod right now, the one that everybody wants, the one that looks like it's going to be the most impressive electric vehicle, there are two that I am particularly interested in, and that is the Porsche Taycan. Yeah, I think that's how you say it, the Taycan. The Porsche Taycan, or the Taycan, or something. I think it's the Taycan. And Cadillac is coming out with the Escalade EV. General Motors will be introducing their new lineup of SUVs in a matter of weeks now, because they're redesigning their SUVs for the 2021 model year. More than likely, those trucks will be introduced. If they're not introduced at the LA Auto Show, it is a certainty they'll be introduced at the Detroit Auto Show. And then they're saying after those new SUVs are released, then the the Cadillac EV, Escalade EV is coming out, and it'll be interesting to see what will happen. If General Motors is successful with implementing a 400-mile range, and it has it uses a faster kilowatt charging than what's currently available through DC charging. Livery will eat up those Escalades like there's no tomorrow. They will have no problem selling them because they're electric. They will save operators a ton of money, and the ride will be great because you won't have to deal with a motor vibrating all over the place. The ride will be just perfect. In fact, if General Motors, no more than likely every single one of those Escalades will be platinums, and they'll be about $125,000 and GM range, no question. People will say, okay, I just won't tow with it. If they want to tow, they get the gas model. But most people buying Escalades in California, they're getting them because they want a nice truck to look good in, and it's going to be the hot thing to get. What do you think about Malik Yoba standing up for trans people? That's something I'll talk about on my personal channel because this is Rideshare. So I'll talk about that later on my personal channel. That's funny because last night I got gas $75 and I got a little over 18 gallons. Oh yeah, but it depends on where you bought the gas too. No, you're right. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay. Yes, Dylan R. I would love to have a ride electric car. I think electric cars are great. Westminster probably has the cheapest gas. Yeah, but that's in Orange County. I'm not willing to drive that far to get gas. It's what it is. So, how the rideshare picked up the Dodger Stadium during the playoffs. I don't work Dodgers. Oh goodness, excuse me. I don't work Dodger Stadium anymore. I have intentionally given up Dodger Stadium, but I would tell you this: the ride pickups are probably really good there. I just won't be doing them. I got burned one time, too many times, when I had the BMW, dealing with impatient people, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't care how good the rides are. I'm not doing it. If I pick up at an event now, the only place I go to pick up is at the Hollywood Bowl at this point. I don't pick up at I do not pick up at the Coliseum. I don't pick up at LA Live. I don't pick up in Santa Monica. I don't pick up in downtown LA. There's a lot of places I don't go anymore because I just don't want to deal with the riders anymore. You got people that are rude because the app clearly tells them it's going to take the vehicle 15 minutes to get there, and they cancel on you after 2 minutes. They call you, where you at? I'm like, I'm in traffic. It takes me time to get to you. There are a few hundred other people trying to do the exact same thing. I can only get there as fast as traffic will allow me to get there. Well, you need to get here quickly or so like that. Okay, well then I'm not the right driver for you. Thank you and have a nice day. And I hang up the phone and I cancel the ride. And I'm like, no. And after getting told off one time too many, and having uncomfortable conversations with customers about it or so, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm not. So, I hope it works out great for whoever is doing the trips out there, because the trips are good. I usually had trips that paid about $45 from Dodger Stadium. When I had the Beamer, I would do like 2 or 3 trips. I would go pick up somebody, drop them off, go right back, pick up again, and do it. And I was the man. But after I got burned that one last time, and that was when I had the BMW. I said, I'm not doing Dodger Stadium anymore. And if I'm near Dodger Stadium and I haven't done one with the truck. What I do now is whenever there's a big event, I do the opposite. I go elsewhere because that's just one spot. Southern California is huge. It's gigantic. There are all kinds of places I can get rides at tonight with the truck. And that's what I do. I don't focus on big events anymore. I don't do it. Let me see. Well, I work for a fleet owner. I'm going to have to tell him that because I know he needs to replace some of these vehicles in his fleet. Right on. That is good information. Um, yeah, tell when, and that depends on what he's going to want to do. Because here's the deal: the 2020, right? Um, Darius, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Um, and here's the reason why I believe General Motors is going to get it right. The Chevy Bolt, they got it right. That vehicle is one of the best vehicles I have ever driven. I liked. There was very little that GM got wrong with that car. I mean, even though you would think that a big guy like me wouldn't be comfortable in it, I had a blast driving that car. The ride was great. It was nice and quiet. Good display. The materials that they used was acceptable for the vehicle. I mean, it had great space on the inside. The customers liked it. I mean, the inside was roomy. It was comfortable. For Rideshare, the only issue I had with it on Rideshare was I did have to recharge it twice a day, and to get a full charge usually required about 2 hours per charge. So I was spending a lot of time recharging the car, but it was cheaper to charge the car than it was to keep pumping gas in it all the time. Um, if anything, here's the one thing I know about General Motors. They know how to make good trucks, and they know what they're doing when it comes to an electric vehicle. They have a whole team of people who are dedicated to getting it right when it comes to those electric cars. I believe that the Escalade EV will be incredibly successful because livery, you're gonna look at the fuel savings alone. It's not going to be about the cost of the vehicle. It's going to be about how much money they save operating the vehicle. You have a vehicle that's going to get rid of a whole lot of problems that you have to deal with in an electrical vehicle. Electric car. For example, you won't have problems with batteries going dead anymore. You won't have problems with cooling systems going out on you. You won't have problems with transmissions and drivetrains and all that stuff going wrong with you, because it's a whole different ball of wax with an electric vehicle. Now, the Escalade is going to be a heavy vehicle. I mean, this truck weighs probably 7,000 pounds. But I think GM is on the right track, and if they do well with the Escalade, then they're gonna come out with a Yukon variant, and maybe a Chevy variant as well too. But what I've heard is General Motors is taking Cadillac, and they're going to change Cadillac into being its brand for electric vehicles. The approach of using Chevrolet and the Bolt, the car was basically $40,000, and it was hard for people to swallow the cost of a $40,000 subcompact Chevy when you could get a Cadillac for the same money. But you had people who were that passionate about EVs, and they bought the Bolt, and it turned out to be the best car they ever had. I'm gonna check right now and see what the price of the cheapest price of a Bolt EV. I'm curious because one thing about the Bolt, the car holds its value. I'm curious to see what it could do. So looking at a Chevy Bolt, I want to check it out anywhere, and I want to find the cheapest one. Okay, so I found a Chevy Bolt Premier. It has 100,000 miles on it. 100,373 miles, and they want $16,550 for this car, and it's a 2017, the first year it was out. So what is your personal channel? GM better get it right because others are having serious problems in cold climate cities. Well, no, General Motors will get it right because here's the deal: Detroit is in a cold climate city. That's what they are, and that's what they specialize in, is in cold climate. They'll get it right. They've got a, and plus GM has a huge engineering department that will work on this, and they know exactly what they got to do. And the truck is a totally different deal. Rideshare Dre might be why. It only has about 60 subscribers. And the reason why is because I really haven't made a lot of videos on the channel. But my personal channel is just that. It's the personal stuff. Ride with Peterson is specific about rideshare and my time as a professional driver. Then there's my car review channel, and I'm going to have people discover it on their own, so I'm not going to talk about that until the channel is actually filled with content. Right now, the channel has no content, but it is established. All the social media for the car review channel is established, and it's there. But that channel will be for car reviews. But my personal channel is basically for anything and everything else. That channel is the one where there is, within the bounds of YouTube's community standards, there's no bounds for what I talk about on that channel. So when the question was brought to me about Malik Yoba and what he's talking about, I'm like, okay, that's something that I will address on the personal channel. I'm not talking about that on the rideshare channel. You know, this channel is about cars, rideshare, and all like that. So I have no problem talking about the Chevy Premier, the Chevy Bolt. Like right now, there's a 2017 Chevy Bolt up in San Leandro, and it has 81,000 miles on it, and they want $17,088 for the car. You know, even when you consider the price of the car, what it was, and you look at the mileage of the vehicle, these are great deals. But see, then here's the situation. There's a brand new Chevy Bolt LT at La Pierre Chevrolet, wherever that is, and they only want $23,961 for it. So it's possible to get great deals on a new car, but these Bolts, they are holding on to their value like there's no tomorrow. They're holding on to their value. The Bolt is doing great resale value wise, and I would you know, I would get a Bolt. I really would. I like them, but I like the Tesla as well too. The Tesla Model 3, the Tesla Model S. But realistically, financially, the one to get is the like right now, the cheapest brand new Bolt is a 2019 Bolt at Antelope Valley Chevrolet, and they want $21,860 for the car. It's a standard LT, but it's this crazy yellow color. But what they're doing with the price, see, it carries an MSRP of $38,855, but they only want $21,860 for it. They're giving them some incentives on the car. You know, they say it has. I tell you this. If I had the money, I would get a Bolt today. I like the car that much. If I had the money, I would get one. There's no question about it. It's a wonderful car. I would love to have another one, but the Tesla Model 3 is a better vehicle. You know, I drove the Tesla Model 3, and it's something else. But I don't know. Right now, though, the car I'm feeling the most is that Audi e-tron. That one's hot. I like that. I like that. That's my style right there. Okay, I would have to get 2 bolts to work enough hours in a day without waiting to recharge. I, yeah, but you know what? Here's the deal. You're only on Uber. You're stuck with Uber X. That's the problem. You have no variety by getting. If you're going to do rideshare, I'm telling you, you're better off just getting a Suburban or a Yukon, and doing the XL trips. You'll make more money. Um, that's just my opinion. But I'm not I won't be doing rideshare much longer. So, are you going to be coming out with more videos on the YouTube channel? I haven't seen you in a while. I was wondering when I asked you what happened. Where have you been? Yeah, I'm planning on coming out with more videos once I'm out of rideshare. I plan on continuing on with YouTube. YouTube has been good to me, and I got people like you that care enough about me to say, "Hey, Peterson, we want to see you run your mouth for 2 hours on a live stream." So yeah, I'm still gonna keep doing. I'm still gonna keep doing YouTube. That's for sure. I want to build up my personal channel to 1,000 subscribers so I can keep doing the live streams and go from there, and do that. Um, Let me see. I have seen some of the bolts use 17 mile. Yeah, between 20 and 25,000 dollars. That's what they're going for. That's good resale value. It's excellent resale value. Um, oh yeah, I'm game for an electric SUV is Uber Black SUV. Yeah, Uber, the electric vehicle will definitely save you a lot of money in gas. That's for sure. So, what is your personal channel? Is it just for? Yeah, you can go. My private channel, my personal channel is just Ulandsey, Ulandsey. It's a regular YouTube channel like any other. You can go on and subscribe. Um, and I actually need to post another video on the channel. It's a video that Michelle, she asked me about, and she I told her I would publish the information. It's about suicide, and I told her I would publish that video. I made the video a couple of months ago, but I made the video a couple of months ago, but I need to upload it because I was having problems with my iPhone. So yeah, I've got 58 subscribers on my channel. So um, let me see. So yeah, but that's it. 58 subscribers. But I know if I just start running my mouth some more, um, I could get it to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm confident of that, and then take it from there. But that's the channel. But here's the thing. Ride with Peterson is so cool because the channel has a little bit of flavor to it. I could do the food reviews and all this kind of stuff. You just want to ride with me or so like that rather than just my name. So it's going to be interesting to see what I do with both channels. Maybe what I probably end up doing is I'm trying to figure what do I do with this channel once I stop the rideshare, because I don't want to do a disservice to people who are on this channel because of rideshare. I'll now be alienating all those people to talk about all this other stuff that they really don't want to hear about. And that's why I'm like, okay, if you want to talk about all the other stuff, go to Ulandsey. That's what the channel is for. If people ask me specific questions about rideshare, what's my opinion of this or that, then I'll come back here and I'll adjust it. I figure Ride with Peterson probably will survive for another 2 years before I end up going into Ulandsey full time and into my car review channel full time. So that's the thing. All right, I'm officially at low fuel now. All right, everybody. I gotta go because I gotta put gas in this truck. I will 9 miles to the gallon. Looking pretty low there. Sad thing. Fuel range low. Yes, I am low. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and check out because I need to put some gas in this truck and get to work. Uh, and I told you premium technology vision. I told you if you want to hear my opinion about that, you need to go to my personal channel, Ulancy, and I will post it there. I'm not going to post it here. All right. Um, Let me see. Are you going to be coming out with more videos on YouTube channel? Seen you in a while. I was wondering what owners. Okay. Yeah, Rideshare Jay. Send me an email, and we go and I'll discuss it more with you like that. More than happy to answer your question, but I do have to go because as if I keep sitting here, and see the reason why I have to idle is because I got the lights on. If I turn the car off and leave the lights on, the battery's gonna go dead and I won't be able to start it. I got a bad battery, so. All right, everybody, I'm gonna check out. I will catch you next time. Take care, and thank you for hanging with me for 194 minutes. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening and make whatever money you can this weekend. I know I will. Take care.